Fight Life Connoisseurs to a little new series I like to call Fight Life Lessons, where I just kind of talk to fighters and about their life and what lessons we can take from it. And I'm here today with my first guests, you know.
I'm Geoff Mellor, professional MMA fighter out of Subfighter MMA. Luckily, I'm home right now, but
yeah, like we all are during this crazy times. But you know, why don't you give us a rundown of yourself? Like, you know, give us a little intro of you.
I mean, simple. I was like basically just a Orange County wrestler kid that ended up fighting and just wanting to do it professionally. I don't know what initially drew me to it, but that's what brought me there. And it's been a weird 16 fights later and like 19 fight camps or something like that.
Yeah, right. So you said you started wrestling. So like, what kind of got you into like wrestling?
I had a buddy actually. His brother was like the captain of the wrestling team when I was in eighth grade, so it's still in middle school. And the Capo wrestling team came over, did like a little demonstration, basically played wrestling games with us, like just foxtails. You just have to pull the tail out of their shirt and stuff, or out of their pants and stuff.
We had color guard at my middle school, not wrestling. Like a little less cool.
Just color guards. Yeah. Color guard did show
basically
up. Basically
only, like, I don't know why, like at my middle school, because everyone from like AVMS went to Aliso Miguel.
Yeah.
Only the color guard people just basically showed up. Like, and like there was like obviously way cooler sports there, but like, hey man, let's flip some wood and rifles.
Yeah. Dude, come on. Why don't you want to throw a gun in here? I don't know. We had the same thing, but I think what they did was they sent the girls, which is probably going to ruffle some feathers, but they sent the girls to the color guard and they sent the guys to wrestling. And then there were still some girls that went to wrestling and like watched as well, of course. But yeah, I think that's what they did for us. But ended up getting convinced by that kid to wrestle. And then he ended up not actually wrestling on the team, but I just stuck with it anyways, which was kind of funny, but whatever.
Yeah. That's actually how I related to you. Is like, because obviously I've trained under you since for about my first year in MMA.
Yeah, but you've been here like 2-3 years at this point?
Year and a half. Only a year and a half. I just show up a lot and don't leave because I don't have anything better to do but hang out at a gym.
Same.
Yeah, that's basically like if you get into martial arts, you end up just even when you're not training, you're like hanging out around here, just talking to people. You don't got nothing better to do.
Or staring at yourself in the mirror, shadowboxing for whatever reason.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how you got to get hyped up. You got to get into the mindset, the zone.
Or you get hyped up for your showers that way. You're like, fuck, I'm ready.
For real.
Wash myself so well.
Right. It's just like, oh, Mr. Miyagi. Like, and that's what Anderson Silva did in a fight, you know, the shower wash. But no, I had like the same thing. Like, I think actually my buddy took like your striking class and we were talking and he just was talking about this place and I showed up and he got a girlfriend and I stayed here.
Really? I don't remember that. Who?
Oh
well.
Well, yeah, he's
Don't
trained.
remember.
Yeah, hopefully. But so like basically your buddy got into wrestling, didn't show up and you're just like, this is cool.
Yeah, this is cool. I'm about it. He showed up for about a couple months and then he injured his shoulder and then just never came back. But yeah, ended up just finishing that whole career there. Went like 3 months of 3 months after graduation of high school. I was just starting college and then I went and started doing just jiu-jitsu tournaments. I was like, went and trained at a UFC gym I think at the time with a guy that used to actually work with Adam Lynn back in the day, so he got me into Subfighter, but he trained me a little bit, taught me just the basics, and I went and did a couple jiu-jitsu tournaments, and then ended up at Subfighter and just stayed for I don't know, 6 years at this. I don't know what year is it. I think I started in 2014, late 2014, so about 6 years.
Yeah, it's about 6 years, and like, well, you were 18, 19?
18 when I started, yeah.
Yeah, same time as I did, like.
Yeah.
But without, like, except I didn't have the wrestling experience like you did. Yeah.
Oh,
well, actually, and also going back to what you said and your friend having shoulder injuries, didn't you deal with, like, in your high school career, like, having a shoulder injury or something of some kind? Like.
Well, I originally started playing baseball, so that's where, like, it all started with. All I could do, so I wear glasses. This is weird, but I wear glasses. I didn't start wearing them until I was, like, 13, right when I stopped playing baseball. And it never occurred to me that when I was playing an outfield, that like other people could see the batter. So like I literally played right field. I'm in right field and I would get yelled at by my coach like, why don't you go and like you see the ball getting hit off the bat. Why aren't you running after the ball? You wait till it goes past you and then you run after it. And I'm like, I can't even see the pitcher, bro. Like, I don't even know when the ball's being thrown. All I hear is the pop of the bat, and then that's it. So that's where that started. I was a pitcher, so that was the only position I was actually decent at. And then separated.
So you were just blind winging them at him.
Oh no, I could see that close. That was all right. But there were a couple times where they would do the signs, and I'd be like, fastball. I don't know what that was. Boom, and just throw it. But I separated my growth plate being a pitcher because I was just playing travel ball, whatever. And then
a lot of injuries in travel ball, surprisingly.
They just don't. They don't. A lot of teams don't give their kids any breaks. They play every weekend. That's the problem. It's every weekend for the whole year.
Well, like that's kind of the problem of like just any high school sports.
I mean, they have off seasons though, but that was where the shoulder injury started. And then I think, one of the wrestling coaches that's actually now a coach here, Coach Mills, was coach for Laguna Hills High School. We used to go to like CIF practices with them. And I remember shooting I was exhausted, just shooting like the laziest double leg ever on him. And he just just did that whizzer throw and just tripped me over.
Yep, I felt that.
And it just popped. And I felt something pop, and then I felt it pop back. I felt like something popped out and popped back in. I never really could figure it out, but I was able to move my shoulder for like an hour, and then it was just stuck to my side for like 2 days. But that was about it. That was the majority of it. I mean, I did have a couple wrestling matches where I literally taped my arm to my side. That's everybody wrestles injured. You're wrestling 50, 60 matches a year in just the season.
That's just combat sports. I don't think anybody even trains like without like having something wrong or like.
But I mean that's even just high school. Like imagine the college guys. Yeah. They're probably doing. I don't know if they're doing more matches. I don't know what their total match count is, but I know in California they limit it to somewhere around 40 or 50 for before like league, which is basically essentially like playoffs and stuff like that.
That's like I feel like that. Well, it makes sense now why like. When you see like wrestlers come to MMA, like the one like tick I always hear on them is like they have so many miles or their knees are blown out or like this thing or that thing's on them, and
but like I've got more injured they're practicing MMA than I have wrestling. I never got as far as I know, I never got concussions. I never got broken bones or anything. But oh well.
Yeah. And I'm
you
sure
signed up for it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're all healed up. Like I still remember your first like pro fight. Like you have the guy in an armbar, and all of a sudden we just see you do this like back tumble like flip off the guy.
I don't know if that was. Yeah, that was after he already slammed me. I was like, he went to go pick me up again. Yeah. I'm out. I'm not staying here again. He already slammed me on my back before. So I don't know.
I feel like that's one hidden like technique nobody realizes of jiu-jitsu is like just knowing when to bail. Like
funny enough, I actually did that the week before the fight too.
Really?
In training, it was just somebody went to go pick me up, and I think it was Freelove. Andrew Freelove did it to me. He just picked me up, and I just kind of. It was more sloppy in training, but I kind of did this little back roll and just kind of stood up and was able to get out. But then I don't know. It just occurred to me in the fight as well. I was like, all right, backflip, get out of here, let's go, and it worked out. So I guess everything works. Yeah, the amount of times I've said, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, for real. That's what's crazy is like when you start, like once you reach a certain level, I feel like confidence in training, you just kind of like have those moments where you're like, yeah, fuck it, let's just try this. And you're shocked.
But it doesn't work 80% of the time.
Yeah, for real. Or when it does work, nobody sees. Like,
yeah.
You're like, oh, it did, nobody saw me do the cool thing. Like, so obviously you said like you transitioned from wrestling, you started doing some jiu-jitsu and all that. So like what made you like, want to just be like, let me hop in a cage and get punched in the face by a guy? Like, that sounds like fun. Like,
I think actually I had just started. I kind of decided. I'd already told my mom when I was like 15 that I was going to fight. I didn't think I was going to fight professionally. I didn't know what it was, but I had at least told her like, hey, at some point I want to try this. I had seen like, I think the first fight I ever watched, at least that I remember watching, was John Jones, because I just never watched fighting. My family never watched it, but it was John Jones in like. It was either I think I watched the John Jones season of Ultimate Fighter where he was like the Ultimate Fighter finale. I think that was my first like watching somebody fight, and then I realized like, oh, this guy's a wrestler. Oh, I just started wrestling. I wonder if I could do that. And I just saw like a lot of similarities.
You just see him elbowing, destroying Mark Hamill. Like,
oh, that was that fight.
The
actually.
one
You're
loss
right.
he has is like the first one.
That was the
see.
first one I saw. You're right.
I love how a loss is what got you into fighting. Or he's like the first
that wasn't
fight.
a loss, dude.
No, it was not a loss. Like anybody who considers that a loss is just insane.
That's like I have a buddy who I guess he fought amateur, and I guess for some whatever reason, Arian, you know Arian, but they wouldn't allow head kicks for whatever reason. But he head kicked the guy, knocked him out, and then they call him later and they're like, hey, that was actually a disqualification. Blah 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 blah, and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool, whatever."
That doesn't make.
At least that's what he told me. So I'm like, "Oh, well."
That's like the one.
I'll take a knockout disqualification where I knock him out, I guess.
Basically, you're walking out not injured or anything.
Yeah.
But it's always odd to me, like certain rules like that. Like they can't hit me here. Like they're allowed to punch me with their full fist, but like me, a padded up leg, I can't get hit. Like.
I mean, I understand some. Like, if it's amateur, I understand some of the rules. That's probably the reason why I was like, all right, cool, I get that. Like, amateur, I understand. They don't want to see guys get like hurt, be put in the hospital, anything like that. But then, like, when you're pro at that point, I'm not saying you should allow like soccer kicks or ghetto stomps because that's like attempted murder at that point. Like, maybe you could. I mean, pride never dies. Maybe they should.
I mean, ONE FC kind of does it right, where it's like they're not soccer kicks, but you can knee somebody while they're like on the ground. Like
there should be certain like, also I guess the rules are.
And it's a valid. Well, it's still a valid technique because like
you're right.
In a street fight, like when somebody's shooting a double leg, you're not just gonna be like full sprawl. Like I would just be like, and we're done.
Right, like, that's the completely different animal because in a street fight, you take him down, his buddy's kicking you in the back of the head.
That's true.
So
that's true.
That's up to you. But oh well.
Yeah. So, like you said, you kind of got it in your mind from watching The Ultimate Fighter and all that. So you just kind of decided from there, like, I want to give this a try. Like, this looks cool.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to just try it. I didn't even know if I was going to be good at it because I didn't even know if I was good at wrestling. Like, I wasn't the best wrestler in the world. Like, I think I made it to CIF twice and didn't really I made it decent in the tournament, but didn't really ever do great. But I understood that, like, okay, I know how to at least shoot a double leg. Yeah. I can do this. So I thought after my first fight, or before my first fight, when I was training for it, I was like, oh, if I lose, I'm just going to quit. And I ended up losing in like 50 seconds. I got guillotined because I shot the worst.
So wasn't it the guy stunned you and you're like, whoop?
Yeah, well, you do the wrestler thing. You get punched in the face and you're like, oh, double leg. That's all I know how to do. So obviously I've learned other things since then. Clear, I hope. But
I would say so.
Yeah, I hope. But did the stupid wrestler thing. He guillotines me. He was a decent fighter, and I'm like, all right, cool. Hats off to you. 50 seconds. I go over there, and then I'm like, all right. In my mind, I'm like, all right, I'm done for like the first 10 minutes, and then after that, I'm like, nah, there's no way. Like, fuck that. Yeah. If I'm done, like, I wasted so much time. Like, what the hell?
You're so invested at that point. Like, you spent what, like a year or two, like just at training at the gym, or?
I think it was like a year. My first.
Was it a year here? Like
a year here, maybe like a year and a half here actually. Before it was probably like a year when he said like, all right, let's start looking for events, or like I think you're somewhat ready, and then it was probably another 2 or 3 months before the fight even happened. Yeah. So somewhere around there. I don't know what it was, but it was October 2015. Yeah. I remember that because it was what was it called? Like Spooktacular or something like that. It was so spooktacular.
Well, what was it like? Like, what, like, obviously, kind of, what was your mindset when, like, Adam walked up and he said, like, okay, we're ready to go. Let's, like, look for a fight.
I was just stoked because that's what I had been planning on doing. It was just an opportunity. Like, of course, you're nervous. Like, immediately you get, like, a lead in your stomach and you're like, oh shit, this is happening.
Well, that's all of this. Like, try train and not feel fear. Like, you're just a sociopath. Like,
right. I mean, it never works. You're always going to have them, but you try to ignore it, I guess.
I was like what Kayla Harrison said, where she just says, like, I try to make it, like, the way she described it is like, I try to just embrace it and make fear my friend. Like, it's always going to be there, so just why not just embrace it?
I mean, yeah, the best times I've ever had a fight were the times where I was like, I mean, of course, relaxed, but like almost had this like fuck it mentality of like, it's gonna happen. Like, you already signed up for it. Why? Like,
That is
like
the
she said,
yeah.
you got to embrace it. You already signed up for it at this
Yeah.
point. Like
That's like one thing I always notice about you, and I try to like emulate at least in training and all that. Like you're very like even in your walkouts, you're always very calm, very stoic. Like just chill. Like just couldn't like
that,
you know.
I mean, I've probably had times where I wasn't,
Yeah.
but that's what I try to be because I just can't. I've had people in the corner that were just so like amped up and just like running around, and I'm like, please go away. Like I don't need that kind of energy. Like I'd rather chill. And like I think before my last fight, I was eating taco. I didn't fight till like 10:30 or 11. I was eating tacos in the back of the locker room while everybody else was warming up. I was like, I got like 6 hours, dude. I'm chilling. Like,
and that was an amazing performance you had to. Like the first minute, I think you dropped the guy and like ended up guillotining the dude. Like
he was tough. He suplexed me though. He was tough.
Yeah, he was.
No,
strong.
it was not a. It was a rear naked choke, not a guillotine.
That's what it was. I was sick
That's
that
my-
day.
that's
I
my
couldn't.
only
I couldn't
solution.
attend. That was like the first fight that I've known you that I couldn't show up to. But
You've been to like what 4 or 5 others. So.
well, no, I've been there for the state title. I was there for the pro. No, yeah. I was there for the fight before the state title. I was there for the state title, and then I was there for the pro debut, and then I was there for the loss.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was a razor sharp loss. Like that was an entertaining fight in itself. Like,
Yeah, that was just one of those times where like, I feel like I just stood there for the, like I almost let that like I didn't have that fuck.
Yeah, there was like
I didn't
a
have
little
that
bit.
fuck it mentality.
Yeah, there was like a little bit. There was something off with you. I
Yeah,
noticed.
I don't
and,
know.
like,
Just
didn't you
whatever
say
it
like
was.
you like there was like an ankle hurt or something? Like there was
Well,
like
I
something
never
where
really-
like
I
there
never
was
really-
something you were just off. Like you were just worried. Like
I
your
never
steps were
really
different.
like I could never tell like I thought it was broken when I first did it, but I threw a kick in like literally I think the first minute mark of the first round, and he blocked it perfectly. I smacked my foot backside right up against his elbow, and I didn't know if it was broken, but I stepped back and I felt something click, and it was completely numb because of course like adrenaline and all that, but. I got done after the fight. I had to like I almost fell out or almost fell off the stairs because I stepped down on it. And my foot kind of gave out, but once the adrenaline was kind of wearing off. But I mean, that's part of it though. Like I threw a shitty kick and I kicked him in the
it happens.
the
You're
elbow.
you're in an MMA fight.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, but again, I did nothing after that. Like that was one of those times where I never hit the fuck it button and went like, all right, we're going in a fight. I just kind of stood there and I was like. Oh, he's moving. I'm gonna move. All right, cool. Like
you're playing too much of like, and we all do this. I've done this plenty of times. Just
deer in the headlights.
Yeah, the deer in the headlights, or the like trying to find the perfect look. Like I still remember the first time I MMA sparred you. I was just sitting there like, and you're just like, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait for the look I've seen him do all week, and you literally took me down. And you're like, hold me there, like Khabib. I'm like, this is what I get. I just should have reacted. This is.
Well, I love the Khabib though.
That is.
For those that don't know what the Khabib is, it's you take them down and you got to wrap their arm behind their back and you hold him and you get to just praise Allah and smack him in the face, and it's great.
Luckily, you didn't praise Allah too hard at me that day.
Wow.
You just stood over me, just mocking me. And I think I came in so fired up the week after, just ready to work, just being like, I'll learn to wrestle now.
Well, what was that? Yeah, that was what 2 years ago or something like that.
I don't know. I can't remember.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
You've learned since then.
I've definitely learned since then. Like, don't be
do
ready
it.
for a takedown.
Well,
Like, that's just always be ready.
You know where I started. You know I started with wrestling.
That's true.
That's gonna be my
But it's
that's
also
my
different.
fallback.
Like, it's also interesting. Like, that's the interesting because, like, in the way that I know you is not necessarily like I don't think wrestler. It's like striking and all that because I learned to strike from you. So it's like I have to like switch and remember. I'm like, oh wait, no, he's like more
I'm
like
just
he's
an MMA fan. I'm
multidimensional.
just
Yeah,
an MMA
you're
like,
multidimensional. You're very well rounded.
That's like the weirdest question to me when people like because they'll do that for walkouts. They're like, oh, what do you want me to describe you as? And they ask me that the first time. They're like, what do you want me to describe you as? Like grappler, like striker, all this, and I'm like. If you're fighting MMA, why would you not describe yourself as an MMA? I'm confused. I'm an MMA fighter. Like, and you're like, oh, okay, but you don't have like a base. I'm like, wrestling and MMA, I guess. Like, I'm
Wrestle-itsu?
Yeah, I'm an MMA fighter. I don't know what to tell you. Like, and then, like I never understood that to be an MMA fighter and be like, I'm only a striker. Like, yeah, that could be your base.
Well,
sure,
like,
you should at least, if you want to compete in MMA, say that you're an MMA fighter. I think.
I guess like, and it kind of goes back to the big base of the sport, making money is like marketing yourself, and you see like a lot of guys like with like transition athletes, I guess you could say, like
That's true.
Dudes from other guys, and they're all like maybe like a Gordon Ryan, for example. superstar in jiu-jitsu. We don't know how he'll do in MMA, but he's riding off that name of being a jiu-jitsu guy, or like Dylan Dennis, perfect example. Like, I don't know about you, when I see Dylan, he does all right and all that, but like, submissions. Yeah, he's got good submissions, but I still feel like when you watch him strike, he's still like learning. He's still got some stiffness,
If you've started with grappling, it's a completely different stance. So he's trying to understand. He's probably still trying to understand the stance.
Completely.
I'm still trying to understand the stance.
Everybody is. Like, every time. But like, I think it's a part of it too, is like I said, like, and maybe it's like, obviously I don't think you're like, why wouldn't you go just be a well-rounded? But I think some people just kind of take pride, I guess, in their original art. Like Damian Maia. Like, you always see Damian Maia. He's like, I want to be the best jiu-jitsu guy in MMA. Well, yeah, you can be that.
I get that. I get that a little bit. If you have pride in what you have, in what you are. And I was about to argue with myself, saying, don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on his name. He was just about to fight John Jones, not Ngannou. Stylebender.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was drawing a blank on that. Stylebender. Like, that's a guy that I would be like, all right, yeah, you're a striker.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you started with. I don't think I've ever seen. Maybe he has taken people down. I've never watched a fight where he.
Actually, I was watching his breakdown. I haven't watched all his fights though. I have, and I was a big Stylebender fan. Skinny striker.
Fair.
Yeah. And, but I remember I was watching his lives during all this, and he was breaking down his own fights. In the Brad Tavares fights, in the last 10 seconds, because in the last 10 seconds of a round, I always love to see, because you just see guys just say, "Fuck it, let's try something." Yeah. He Imanari rolled him, or he tried to, and it didn't go well.
I think I did see that. You're right. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
He was still learning at the time. Yeah, he was still learning, but it was actually like, for the technique wise, it was actually pretty decent. Or like, you see him with Kelvin Gastelum, he's throwing up triangles on a wrestler. Like,
yeah, well, dude, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, but he kept with them. Like, and then if you see him training, like, you're like, you don't like look like lost like some guys.
No, of course not. He's an MMA fighter at this point. Like, he's a world class MMA fighter now.
Yeah. He had it in his mind
when he was a kickboxer. Kickboxer, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, he even called it out. I think when he won Glory, I think.
I don't know exactly what his resume is, but I know that he was a world class like striker. So it's like for him, I get it. Oh well, hold on. You're a world class MMA fighter now. Call yourself an MMA fighter. That's my only opinion.
I agree. So you're at the start of your career. What, 3 fights in? Like.
3 professional fights in, yeah.
So
2 and 1.
I guess what like how do you have, like, in comparison to how you started and what your life looked like now versus, actually we'll get to that later. Let's start with like when you were like starting college, you just kind of had like what, 1 fight under you, like.
Yeah.
When did you kind of start to stay that transition, like, I want to keep going? Because you kind of touched on that, how you had like that first loss, and then what kind of got you to like just be like, oh, let me try this again?
I think it's just straight stubbornness. I mean, that's all it was. It was me like, no, there's no way. Like, I was just stubborn. But I think I had already dropped out. I don't even know. I think I may have dropped out around the time of my first fight. Yeah, I dropped out right before that. I just never, I just wasn't showing up. It was just not for me. And I was like, I'm not going to pay for something I'm not going to do. Like,
no, that's fine. Sense. Like,
and so maybe I was putting all my eggs in one basket or not, but I wasn't doing it intentionally. It was just like, hey, I just don't want to like do this right now. I'm going to go do this. This seems more interesting. So I don't know, dude. It was the point of, I was like, well, what else am I going to do? And I'm just a stubborn asshole. So
definitely. So like, what was it like, kind of like, I guess, telling your parents that, and like, and just people around you, like, what was that like, just being like, oh, I dropped out of school and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try this exciting thing.
Well, like, I mean, it wasn't exactly like everything at once. Like, they already knew I was training. They already knew I was fighting and I was getting ready for the fight. And then it was just kind of like I just kind of like sat them down, like, hey, I just don't want to do school right now. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just, I barely graduated high school. I was like, I'm not a good student. I already see that in myself. Like, maybe later I'll want to go back, but just right now, at that time, right now, I don't want to be here. So yeah, I don't know. That was it. And then it was kind of a slow, gradual thing. And then they're like, hey, so when are you gonna stop fighting? And it's like 8 fights in. When are you gonna stop fighting and go go get a real job.
I was about to say, when are you gonna go get a job?
Yeah, when are you gonna go get a real job? Or are you gonna go back to school? Or what are you planning?
You gonna work
doing?
on an office, you know,
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
showing
I'll
up to
figure
like
it out.
full suit, like and tie,
I'll
cauliflower
figure it
ear out,
Yeah.
like
I'd probably go to construction or something like that first. I don't know.
yeah,
Like I'll figure it out. Who knows?
yeah. No, it's definitely like, and that's an important thing, like, because I go to community college now, and you know, and I
would
train
never knock
here.
that.
Yeah, and it's like, and you know, I can agree, it's fucking tough. Like, and then, like I said, going back, shout out to Free Love, he's literally finishing his last semester while preparing for his first pro fight, and I just sometimes I look at him, I'm like, bro, how do you do it? Like, I have a hard time at the community college level, and he's just like, I'm going for a master's, I'm doing this. I'm like, cool, dude. I'm trying to get a communications degree.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, he also has that like Marine mentality of like
That's
he
true.
had a full Marine career before even that, so he's like just grind, go. So I mean, he has that right mentality, and he wanted to go to school. It's not like that's the difference, though, is he wanted to do it.
Yeah, he's a big believer in education.
Yeah,
like,
well, he wants to be a teacher. So.
Yeah, Dr. Freelove. It's
Dr. Freelove.
yeah, and
I want so badly. I want to go back to when I could have. I want Freelove to be my teacher.
really,
Yeah, like I
What would
just
that
like
be
to
like?
have that as like a child and be like, you're like 13 or 14. You walk into like your high school, your first high school history class, and it's
Yeah.
like, "What's up? I'm Mr. Freelove," or Doctor. If he gets his doctorate or something, like I'm
Yeah.
Dr. Freelove, and you're like, I don't know about you yet. And then he just like
this skinny dude with a
yeah,
beard,
he's
like,
got a beard and his ears are all messed up.
tattooed with like these crazy tattoos.
Yeah, like, I don't know about you.
I don't know.
And then he
Who
turns
are
out to be like one of the coolest guys ever. And you're
Right,
like, oh,
he would
cool.
probably be like, when he's a teacher, he's probably gonna be one of the coolest like teachers, because he's definitely like, there's no way I could not see him being a wrestling coach like at a high school and something like.
He tried it, and it's just, dude, it's not worth it.
Really?
Like, it's like you get like, I think it's like $1,500 or something like that as like a head wrestling coach.
Yeah,
And that's
Wait,
for the
as a
whole
head,
season.
like
It might be more than that. It depends.
Mhm.
I don't know. I know it's like $1,500 or $1,000 to $1,500 for like an assistant. And because I almost did that too, and I was like, dude,
Yeah.
it's like $2 an hour, and like that's a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
Like, I love wrestling. I may go do that eventually, but right now, no. Sorry, I'm gonna go be selfish.
I mean, it's not much different from what you do now. Like, you're, I believe, a personal trainer. You
Yeah.
train, like, you're a coach at Storm.
Get
You're a
paid
coach
You
here.
get paid more to personally train people than to coach at a wrestling program, though. That's
Yes,
no one
sir.
ever. I said actually I remember this from our little wrestling banquet. I was like, oh, thank you, coaches, and I know none of you do this to be rich. And it's like, no, these are guys that are like coming here right after work and just like, hey, I'll come work with you guys. I used to wrestle in college or high school or whatever. So my hat's off to those guys, because those guys are actually doing it straight up for the love of it, as well as every coach, but I mean, specifically them.
That's still like, yeah, no, there's definitely like, and some of the like, obviously our best mentors, oddly enough, I think in life, and anybody can attest to this, is like, weirdly enough, your sports coaches. You know, just when you're like younger or whatever, like, you know, if you're going through some bullshit, like I remember I've had hard times just training here, and like I've talked to our coach, and I'm just like, yo, I don't like, I'm a young guy, I don't know what to do in this situation. Like, can I have some advice? You know?
Yeah, I mean, they almost fill like some sort of like, I don't want to say father figure, but authoritarian figure.
A leadership figure.
Leadership figure, yeah. Someone you can go to and be like, hey, I feel like I could talk to you more than anyone else. Like, I feel like I wouldn't have gone and talked to a teacher over like my wrestling coach.
No.
But
And that's why I could see with Free Love, like, again.
I would go talk to Freeland.
Yeah, I
That's
would
what I'm saying.
go,
I want to
like-
have that relation. I want to
Yeah.
be 14. This might be weird, but I want to be 14. I want Freelove to be like, whatever, not in a gay way.
You
but,
sure? Like,
It might be a little gay.
yeah, it might
Not
be a
in
little
not
bit
in
gay.
a super. It'll be legal though.
Yeah.
Like
It would be
won't
like
it won't be legal because I'm 14, but I won't tell anybody.
It would be like rom-com, like book, like housewife gay, but like where it's like,
It's a better love story than Twilight.
yeah, basically where there's no fucking buts.
No, there'll be
You
some
know,
fucking.
there's some, everything's
Some
alluded.
fucking. No, there'll be some fucking.
Brokeback Mountain style, but in the classroom.
Some. I don't even know. Can I be? Wait, can he be my college professor now?
I guess so. If
Okay,
we're going
he'll be
with
my
that
college
fantasy now.
professor, and I'm 18, so it's legal.
Now we can make the
Dr.
movie of
Freelove,
this.
what's up?
Dr. Freelove.
Give me all that love.
No, but like, you know, he's a guy with like life experience, you know, like he trains here, so he's into a sport that's like
Yeah.
kind of cool with like young kids. Like I remember even
I remember I was at my commercial gym one day, right? I was just changing in the locker room. There's always these like, I think at like every other gym, you know, like these group of kids who are just sitting there hanging out, you know, that like work out and then just bullshit because they don't got anything to do. And I remember one of their buddies was like, obviously it was after he won the world title, but one of their buddies was like all like freaking out because he thought like his friend was in a PSN party with like Kamaru Usman. And I was just like thinking in my head, I'm like, whoa, like when I was in high school, like knowing guys like Kamaru Usman or like maybe the not most like well-known fighters is like,
I mean, he's a pretty well-known fighter.
Well, yeah, obviously world title, but like you still there's still that barrier, I think, even with like casual fans where like they're not gonna know guys like, you know, like today, like Giga Chikadaz or like Walt Harris or
but at the same time, how many linemen can you name?
It's different though. Like,
is that different though? Like,
because think about it, with our sport and everything, you see our faces, we do stuff like this, we can talk, we're a little more interactive, I guess you could say, like, or you can connect more. Versus a lineman where it's very more like almost like military like where you like put your helmet on and just get to you do your job. Like,
I mean, what? But our helmet is the Vaseline and the gloves, and then go get and do your job. Like, there's a lot of people that just don't have that. Like, I don't know. It's the same thing with the like. There's guys that have been in the NFL for 2 years that no one will ever hear of, or NBA for 2 years no one will ever hear of, or people that have fought 3 times in the UFC that no one. I mean, people know who they are, but like.
It's not.
They're not a household name. Yeah, clearly.
Exactly.
I mean,
but like still, there's still like I feel like it still goes to show like, unless even with I feel like UFC champions like maybe 5 or 10 years ago, or at least when like I said, when I was in high school,
they're more well known now.
Yeah, it wasn't as well known. You couldn't like tell somebody who the bantamweight world champion was of like 135 pounds unless they were into the sport. They're like,
well, no one can tell you that now because Cejudo retired. So. There is no bantamweight.
Well, we'll see on that. Like, I'm not. He's saying like, you know.
I think.
What do you think on that? We'll touch on the fights a little bit.
There's two reasons for this. Either he's trying to get more money for his fights, or he's trying to. I don't know. He's just trying to get more money, or or he really just wants to retire. I don't know. There's the only 2 options.
That's the interesting part because like
he wants to do a comeback fight, make millions of dollars, and then dip out again.
Super hype up, like just get that more.
Yeah, that was kind of the Dominic Cruz fight for him, though. I think
a little bit.
All right, I'm over it.
Yeah, but like what I kind of wondered, because I was thinking about this today, and I do think he genuinely does want to I think he did want to retire, but you also got to think about too, like for one, like you're saying, it also might be like he might be just so tired of trying to negotiate with what I think is the hardest negotiators in the sport, like Dana White and all them. He's going like the retirement from money kind of seems like a Hail Mary move, you know, because you just beat Dominic Cruz, you're the double champ still, or Triple C.
It's not even that they're good negotiators, dude. It's just that like nobody has any negotiating power against them. What do you have to offer? Leverage is like the biggest. Like, I mean, unless you're Conor McGregor or Cejudo, who is a big name at this point, like you don't really have leverage. You're kind of just like, all right, like there's like union. You kind of just. Oh, the UFC wants you to fight for $14,000, whatever, and you're like, yes, that's really the only answer you can give. You can't come back and be like, I don't want it because I want 21,000 or something like that. They go, never mind, we'll go call somebody else.
Yeah. I remember Miles Fury,
at least from what I think.
Yeah, Miles Fury on his YouTube channel, pretty cool channel, and I remember he was talking about what it was like fighting in the UFC. The one regret he said he has is just like, I wish I would have fought more, but not for the sake of like. In the title pursuit or whatever, he's like, because you may not get that call again, you know, or you may not get like a call to fight, and you're having to sit on your fight money from like almost a year ago, and you're like, I need to get paid. Come on, like
shit. Call me every 3 months.
For real.
Not even every 3. Call me every month so I can set up for 3 months.
Just ready to go. Like,
I'll just give me every 3 months.
That is like the one odd thing I do find like. Within the sport of MMA is like I feel like the pay numbers are never that accurate, because I remember when Donald Cerrone was fighting Conor, everybody was saying he's getting $2 million, and then when everybody asked
that was Conor that was getting $2 million, but he was getting $2 million just for his. I think that was just his show money.
Really?
I think
I remember somebody saying like Donald Cerrone making like more than what he was making, and Donald was just like, well, where is that $2 million? Like,
I don't even think he made $1 million, did he?
No, I doubt it. Like, I really doubt it. Like that's always been odd to me.
And then you know what's worse is he went to well, I mean, he was on one of the biggest cards ever, but then I was so shocked they put him on the prelim. I was like, really? This is the fight you're gonna? Oh, like, well, you gotta think it's a stacked card. It was a stacked card,
and it's odd too. We're in odd circumstances. Like it's weird with all this, but
that was weird. I'm like, I feel like these are two veterans though, and I'm like, you guys are putting them on the prelims, okay?
Wasn't also like
it was Pettis and Cowboy.
Yeah, I know that, but like weren't they the main event at least of the prelim? Did they give them the main event? Because like
do they even have a main event of a prelim though?
I guess like they were like the last fight before the official card.
That doesn't really make you a main event.
I mean,
that makes you the last prelim.
Usually the last prelim is the most hyped up fight. Though.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
But
that's
like
just good. That's just good TV though.
Yeah, I remember even before that, before Jacare fell out, like Uriah Hall, Jacare was ahead of them, and I remember I saw that. I'm like, how does nobody? I guess it's because they fought each other already, but like, how is nobody hyped up for this? Like, these are two really exciting strikes, and it was a great fight in my opinion.
Well, dude, it's just people. I don't know. It's oversaturation. They're pushing different people. They have shows every month now. Well, they used to have shows every. They used to do them like every 2 weeks or every week, or they'd have a pay-per-view. But they'd have a pay-per-view every week, and then every 2 weeks and a show every week. Yeah, so I mean, when you're watching that many fights, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I just want to see the big money fights. Like, there's a reason Conor McGregor. Like when I think it's actually kind of smart move that Conor McGregor doesn't fight that often because he can ask for more money when he does
a little more on the table.
That's the number. Like that's like the Mayweather of MMA, I guess, at this point.
Well, also too, I feel like the genius of Conor, and like the one thing I wish I'd see more fighters do, and you're seeing Jorge Masvidal do it a little bit, is like what you're saying. He comes with a bargaining chip. He comes with proper 12 whiskey, and like. Obviously, it's taken off. It's become one of the more popular whiskeys, and from at least what I see.
Have you tried it?
No,
it sucks.
Well, I'm 20.
It's worse. Okay, it's worse than Jack Daniels, and that's like the well of every bar ever. It's awful.
Well,
I'm telling you now.
I'm glad you're not.
Don't waste your money.
I'm glad you're not going for the proper 12 sponsorship.
Nope.
Never.
Don't want it.
Well. No, but like I said, he still has like, even if it's not that good, I can't tell you. I'm not really a drinker myself, and he's still coming with a big bargaining chip by saying, you throw up my brand, everybody knows my brand.
Yeah, well, he's running for Bellator too now. He's their sponsor.
It's everywhere. I think I've seen it even at like boxing events too.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
That's maybe. Well, I mean, he definitely was for. You're right. You're probably right because he definitely was for his fight with. Because it was Zuffa Boxing that was doing it with him and Mayweather, right?
Or was they're doing something, but no, I remember seeing some big boxing fight where I could have sworn I've seen. I feel like it was one of the big heavyweight fights.
Probably. Like, was it the Tyson Fury?
Might have been either Tyson Fury or AJ Ruiz too, but I remember seeing like a proper 12. I'll either put it in the editing and make fun of myself, or somebody comments below and be like, "You guys are idiots."
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Tell him you're wrong. If he's wrong, tell him you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Tell him I'm wrong too.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay being wrong. Like we both like to get hit in the head for fun. You're gonna forget a few things. Like,
it's true.
Yeah. No, but like he definitely, like I said, he has a bigger bargaining chip, and that's the hardest thing I think of. At least being a fighter on the come up is you have nothing to negotiate other than yourself.
Yeah, but he's also top 1%.
Yeah,
you can't even that's an anomaly. You can't even compare that to the normal fighter.
Yep, like the Aaron Tohill says, he's special.
Yeah, he is.
He's
different.
He's different. He's something else. Like
he's his own circus, dude. Yeah. When you're throwing dollies and fucking water bottles and going crazy.
Well, that's the thing is like when you look at like that, I feel like if you would have looked at that at any other fight game like 30 years ago, that's all this unheard of stuff. But if you look at like the culture now and you see like rappers, how they act, like Takeshi 6ix9ine out here making like music videos and all this stuff.
It's not that unheard of though. Like people still used to smash up hotel rooms and shit like that. Like,
but it's more like it being in the public eye is what I'm saying. Like it's more common. Like it's so common to see whatever known celebrity have some crazy flip out or break out.
About it. It's entertaining. I love it.
I mean, it's hard to argue that point. We love it. Like, I still remember like watching. Yeah, I still remember like the promo for Conor Khabib, and they straight up show the video of him throwing a dolly at a bus.
Yes, all about it. Like that was an elite. Like that was. I think that one guy had to get surgery out of his
Ray
eye.
Borg. Ray Borg almost had to give up fighting.
Yeah,
which, by the way, amazing fight by Ray Borg on this past fight. Like, him and Ricky Simone went for it. I think he has one of the fastest hands I've seen in MMA. Like
I didn't see that fight. But
dude, it was awesome.
I watched them all later on some illegal-ish.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly illegal.
Allegedly, he watched it illegally. Allegedly.
I illegally watched everything.
Allegedly.
Except for all of them. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, well, the ship sailed and it's burning now.
That's how you have to fight, dude. Burn the
Basically.
ships.
Basically.
Burn the ships. You're not going back home.
That's true. Like, what kind of is that like? Because, so what is like? Because there's different like mentalities for fighting. There's that one of like, you know, like Justin Gaethje said, I'm gonna go out there and I'm either like kill him or die trying. Or
Yeah.
you know, you could have guys who are more calculated, like a style bender who's like, no, I'm gonna make him play my game. Or Paulo Costa, you even see he's just like, I'm gonna maraud at you because I'm such a powerful, athletic guy. So, how did you find your kind of mindset for competing? Because you're more of like, I guess you could say like a counter puncher. Like I'll read you out and like I'm gonna react off of you. I would say.
I wouldn't even say that I'm a counter puncher. It's more of like I try to slow people down because I don't want to fight this brawl pace because I don't like getting hit. I'm sorry. It doesn't feel good.
It's the name of the game.
It hurts sometimes and I don't like it. So I try to slow them down. That's it. That's really what I try to do. Is just slow them down and then I can kind of like pick it up to the pace that I want. But I honestly, I don't know. I just fought and then got my ass kicked a lot in the gym and then figured out a style or at least a pace or style or whatever you want to call it that worked for me. That was through just thousands and thousands of hours of doing it, I guess. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
It's not really, no real answer to it, I guess.
Well, it's like that again. That goes back to MMA. When you really get into the minutia, there's no one right answer for something.
No, it's all up to like each individual, like your body type. Stylebender's long.
Yeah.
I forget who you said the Marauder was, but
Paulo Costa.
Yeah, Paulo Costa. But he's a
super
brick
athletic
shit house. So like, no shit, he's gonna be able to throw people around. Like a Brock Lesnar style where you just fucking like, all right, I'm just gonna charge him and hit him as hard as I can. Yeah, he's gonna gas out, but he's gonna do it.
Yeah, he's gonna take you down and just beat you on the ground.
So I mean, it's up to like your, figure it out. It's up to you. You're long. What do you? You're just gonna have a different style than me, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm long and flexible, so I'm more like I like to move. You know, I like to.
Yeah.
You know, like you're saying, I don't like to get hit, so that's not fun.
Hurts.
Like it hurts
Sometimes.
You know, yeah, and sometimes you don't feel it, which also pay attention to those times because it can get dangerous then. Like,
because you're already on the way out.
I meant for when your adrenaline's going.
Oh,
but like,
okay. I thought you meant
you
like you're just already out and you're just getting hit.
I'm going back to the days of when you taught me not to run at motherfuckers. Like, is what I'm saying. Like, one of the best pieces of advice you just turned to me, like, after I'm like, yeah, I'm still, like, learning distance. And, and this is one of my favorite, like, parts about you, and, like, especially, like, having been slightly coached under you, is, like, you're very honest. There's no bullshit. You get straight to the point where you just go, you're what? You weigh 150, 145 pounds, 6'2"? Yeah, don't run at motherfuckers.
Yeah, why?
Like, why?
Like,
and I was
just
like,
make sense.
Oh,
Be long. Go Jeff.
yeah, just get out there. Like, that's the one interesting.
Well, okay. Well, that comes from Adam, Coach Adam, because we can get into all kinds of stories about Coach Adam.
Let's get into them. Let's get into some stories. Let's get into some
But-
stories of what it's like to fight Grandmaster Adam. Because I've only rolled with Adam, and he's taken 30, maybe 40%. And then when he actually turns it on, I'm like, oh my god, like. I'm up here, my arms are over here, I'm like contorted like this.
Yeah, so one of the best thing, he tells this to Chewy, and actually Chewy told me this the other day. He goes, oh yeah, we had to beat the Orange County out of Jeff. And I was like, Chewy asked me that, I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, him, Arian, Mike Segura, Justin Governal, Eric Vanderlee. Who else was there? There was Ashley Evan Smith there for a little while. Adrian Gomez. There was a bunch of people that would come up there, and they would all just like I don't remember getting knocked out very often, but I do remember getting dropped with just body kicks and like body shots over and over and over again until Adam Lynn is standing over me, and whether or not he was sparring me or not would be like, get the fuck up, you pussy. And I was like, okay. And I'm like up on my feet, barely able to breathe. But my favorite part was right over there, right off screen, right over there. That's where I was standing. He was one.
Where you guys can obviously see.
You can't see. It's off screen, like I said. Don't be mean. But he head kicked. He says it wasn't meant to be a knee. He says it was meant to be a head kick, but I dipped into it.
I know what story this is.
His knee hit me square in the nose, and I like wobbled. I think I hit the fence and then like wobbled forward and backwards a bunch. And he stopped hitting me because he knew I was just fucked up. But I had already broken my nose playing because again I was a blind baseball player. So
was Alex also in that sparring room? You know,
at
the time,
don't remember. I don't know. He probably not because he wouldn't show up for the mornings usually. I don't know. But
shout out to the Russian Boogie.
Yeah,
man.
that guy.
You're awesome, dude.
Terrifying.
Oh, he's terrifying, but the nicest guy at the same time. Weird. Like if you talk to him, you're like, oh,
he's like, come on, buddy. Bah, bah. Like, okay.
He's got that old school Russian style. Like I remember the other day I was rolling with him, and he just catches me in the leg lock. I'm like tap. He's like, okay, now work out of there. I'm like, all right, like, it's like fighting an octopus. Like
he just beats you up in every position. You're like, all right, cool. It was fun. Thank you.
Thank you
so much. But yeah, no, he shattered my nose right over there, so that was a good day.
Yeah, and that's become kind of your, I'd say at least around the gym, your signature. You know,
my crooked ass nose.
The crooked ass nose.
You can't really see it, but
you like every. It's like on Instagram when you take those photos, like, do you want to be a fighter? That's just every photo for you. It's just, do you want to be a fighter up close on the nose?
I mean, you could also say that for my right ear, but
that's true. Didn't you have like a story with Chael Sonnen? Like, let's get into stories now.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, let's tell the audience about the Chael Sonnen story.
Okay,
speaking of wrestling stories.
So this was a good story too. So Chael Sonnen was one of the. There was like John Jones and like Chael Sonnen, because around that era, that was like around the era that I started like actually watching the UFC. So they were like the guys that I would actually. Yeah, that was actually
really fun era. Actually,
one of Rashad Evans and all those.
One of the golden eras of MMA, in my opinion. Like that's when I kind of got into the sports when I saw this big, tall, skinny guy, John Jones, just wrecking everybody.
True.
Like
it's true, but yeah, it was like my biggest fan. I was biggest fans of like John Jones. I liked Mr. Wonderful. I like that guy.
Who's that again?
Phil. What's his last name? I forget. Phil, Mr. Wonderful. I forget his last name.
If only I was behind the camera.
I wish. I'm not that big of a fan because I don't know his last name. I guess. Like Chael Sonnen. Obviously, everyone loved Brock Lesnar at the time. He's just a big brick shit house. But like, Chael Sonnen was probably one of the top ones. So I'm meeting him. I go to kind of help my buddy Mike Segura cut weight for one of his Bellator fights. It was one of the fights that Chael was fighting on. And
what weight did Mike fight at? Because he's a pretty tall guy. He's like a little bit taller than me.
He's like 6'3" or 6'2" or something.
Really?
I think he was. I might be 6'4". Honestly, he's pretty tall.
I think he's 6'4" because when I looked at him, I'm like, you're definitely like 2 inches taller than me.
Probably. He did this to my right ear. But he was cutting weight. I think it was only down to 155. He's made 145 before, but I think it was just 55 for this one. So it wasn't horrible for him. But we're like going into the medicals, and I'm just kind of hanging out with him, whatever.
You know, calming him down before a fight.
Just whatever. He's just like, hey, I just don't want to be like alone. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'll go with you.
A lot of boring like wait times in between fights and weigh-ins.
So like, this is the day before, like when they're doing weigh-ins and medicals and all this, and so Chael Sonnen is like a straight up politician. Like he walks in the room, he goes all the way around in the circle, and we just happen to be like the last people on. Just because Mike's getting his like blood pressure taken or whatever the hell they're doing, we're the last people in like that back corner, and so he's like, "Nice to meet you, nice to meet you, nice to meet you." Like, "Hey, I'm Chael Sonnen." Blah blah blah. Everyone around, he probably says some little funny thing to everybody else. Says what's up to Mike. Goes over to me. I'm like the last person before he leaves the room, and he's like, shakes my hand, like doesn't really say anything. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, I know exactly who you are. And then like kind of looks around like my head, and I'm like, what the fuck is he looking at? Like kind of like I kind of like trying to like look around and be like, what's going on? And then like he just looks at me and goes like, you got some fucking ears on you, man. And I was like, thanks. Like I thanked him. I don't know why I thanked him. I was kind of just like just stuck on that. Like just
wait, didn't he say you earned those or something?
He said, I don't know. He said like, you got some fucking ears on you. It looks like you earned those or something. And I was like, thanks. And then that was our only interaction. Like I don't know. It obviously didn't introduce himself. He didn't need to. I didn't give him my name or anything, and he's just like, cool, all right, I'll keep an eye out for you. I think he thought I was fighting, but I wasn't. I was just there with Mike, and I was like, that was the weirdest interaction I've ever had,
like,
but it was also one of the best. Like, I would never take. I'm like, that's so fucking funny.
Like, I don't know if that's like almost better than him complimenting you, because a backhanded compliment by Chael Sonnen is like the signature Chael Sonnen thing.
No, I thought it was hilarious. The best part, well, that was probably the best part of that whole thing. But then after that, I had eaten like a Del Taco burrito on the way, or I don't know what it was. It was something like that. But it was on the way up to...
Eat like a professional athlete, guys.
Professional. I was an amateur at that time, but professional.
I work like a professional.
Yeah, Del Taco sponsor me. But I had like a Chipotle stain right on my like green Subfighter shirt.
Nice.
And I'm like, great, whatever. I'm not going to be one in the pictures. And then, of course, Mike's like, oh, come on, everybody, let's get in these pictures. They're doing promo pictures. So he has all these professionally done pictures, and they're like, all right, do this pose, do this. And I'm like, and I'm like wearing this fucking green shirt with this giant stain in the middle of it.
How big was the stain?
It was probably the size of like,
golf
there
ball?
was like two, okay, so there was two. There was probably one the size of a dime and one the size of like a quarter. And I was like,
so it was like
they were like
dots.
right next to each other, and I was like, God damn it.
It's almost worse than just like one big one.
Yeah, no. Everyone was making fun of me for that one for a while. Oh well, it's okay. It's my fault.
Hey, at least it wasn't your photos. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's true.
In a way,
I probably would have brought an extra shirt if it was my photos, though.
Yeah, wearing all clean cut, nice. Like,
no, I dress like a bum.
Now, getting into, like I said, stories. You know, you have I'd say a somewhat interesting like personal life in terms of dating and just how you balance everything. And going back to your ears, I remember you told me of one interesting story of a young lady being very into said ears. So let's get into that.
So there's been a couple instances. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I'll tell.
And what it's like to just live life with cauliflower ears, a very
weird.
identifiable thing.
It's weird. It's not that bad. Like generally, it doesn't matter. But like, there was this. So one very nice lady.
Very nice young lady.
Very nice young lady that I was dating with for a little while. Let's just say whatever.
Does she have a name? Only first names. We won't give any last names out.
We don't need to bring this up. But we don't need to get into names. Let's just leave it as very nice lady. And she, at one point, we were like, obviously, like, we're hooking up at this point. She grabs my ears. I don't remember if it was both or if it was one, but she grabs one or both of them, and I'm like, I kind of like just like stop for a second, and she like keeps going, and then I'm like, what are you doing? And she was like, I don't know. I kind of like them. They're kind of hot. And I was like, all right. And then I wish I could like, whatever. It is what it is. And I was like, not like taken back by it, but I'm kind of just like, that was weird.
Like that's an interesting thing.
I've never
into.
heard of that. Yeah, that was also like when I first got. Well, I don't know. I'd had it for a couple of years at that point.
But it's still like something.
Yeah, that was like the first one that was like really stuck out to me of like something that like happened that because of that, and I was like, please don't grab my ears.
Yeah.
Like
it hurts. Like,
it doesn't hurt at this point. I mean, originally it would have, but it doesn't hurt at this point. But it's like, I don't know. That's like, if I walked up to you and grabbed your ears, how would you feel? And I've had that happen to me. Like people in like a bar will walk up behind you. They're drunk and they just like grab your ear or something. I've had that happen to me. How would you feel,
man?
How would
I would feel pretty weird. I'd feel pretty weird. Right? I'd be like, if it was like, it would depend on who it is, how I would feel.
It's a weird.
Like if it was a guy, I'd just be like, this is a little odd, dude. This is a little like too intimate
for me.
No,
that's actually the funny part is I've definitely had both a man and a woman, not in the same night, not at all related to each other, but both a man and a woman grab my ears completely out of nowhere that I did not know them.
So let's examine these two interactions, you know, and see how they're different. Let's start with the man story.
They're both pretty much the exact same story. It's like I'm sitting at a restaurant or like let's be real, at a bar.
You're a young guy. You're 23.
Yeah, let's go. I'm at a bar. I'm sitting at a bar, like in the bar stool. Maybe I had a couple friends with me, or maybe like whatever. Like I had a friend with me or whatever, and then someone walks up behind and grabs, and I turn and go, what the fuck? And they go, you're a fighter, huh? All drunk, and you're like, no. I had a really tight football helmet when I was a kid, and then I tried to put it on, and then I pulled it off, and this is what happened. Yeah. That's my favorite. I like to make up funny stories for it.
Oh, it's fun. Like,
and then, my other favorite one is like, no, when I was born, my mom was so tight, it squeezed my head so hard that my ears got fucked up. That's what really happened. That's my favorite. People
Mama did her Kegels. Like, Mama did her Kegels.
Mama did her Kegels.
Do your Kegels, guys. Make sure work them muscles.
Guys, you can do them too.
Yeah. So wait, it was just basically like you would lie to them and.
Sometimes I would. Sometimes I'd be quick enough. Usually, when that kind of shit, like if you grab it, I'm gonna be taken too off guard to like be witty about it. But like if you ask me and I have like a second to think about it, then I'll pull out one of those little like bullshit things.
Yeah.
But with those people, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what's going on? That's the only thing that's the weirdest. Well, I mean, the weirdest. You heard the weirdest part, but. That's the second weirdest part.
Yeah, the second weirdest part.
The second weirdest part is the strangers that grab it. But other than that, I can't wear earbuds. So shout out to Apple. Please change your earbuds. I can't wear them.
I don't think they like. I don't know if you can. I don't know. I just don't think that you can make a cauliflower.
Figure it out.
Earbud. How are you gonna do that, Jeff?
I don't know.
I'm looking at the hole in your ear and I'm trying to figure out how I would fit something inside of there.
I could put a Q-tip in it.
So a Q-tip sized earbud, that would go. Jeff, that would hurt your eardrum.
Would it?
If you played music inside.
What if it was like the size of like my index finger? Because I could fit my index finger in my ear right now. Don't make fun of me because that's pretty much the maximum of that. But
I feel
it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was about to say, how are you going to keep it from falling out?
Tape. I don't know, dude.
You know, the band that just wraps around.
I'm not a scientist, man. Not a rocket surgeon.
He's a professional athlete, guys.
I don't design things.
He doesn't design things. He'll teach you how to punch. But
I might.
Tell him to build a table, you're out of luck, buddy.
Hey, I could probably figure that one out.
Can you? What's the hardest thing you've built?
I worked for a termite company when I was like 15 and 16. All right. Yeah, all I did was tear shit down, but like, and carry and paint. I painted wood.
So you've been breaking things since you were young.
Yes, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
People's spirits, boards. It
was mainly just carrying a lot of balls. Yeah.
I said walls, but yeah.
Oh, I thought you said balls. I was like, I do break balls. That's fine.
Yeah. That's true. Like,
no, it was mainly just me carrying wood. Actually, was that
brutal honesty. Like, no, that's definitely. How many jobs have you had in your life before you settled on this fun one? Like, what was it kind of like?
Would you say like places that I've worked at or different job titles?
Just places you've worked at. Just growing up, being like a little like lower middle class kid, learning to like hustle, like. Being self-sufficient.
So,
because especially
so I kind of started my own business. Was my first job.
Wow.
I passed out flyers for like real estate agents, and that was when I was wrestling. So like I would run as I was doing it and like throw the flyers out. Like sometimes they'd put like bags with rocks in them. You just kind of toss them, and so like. I would basically run sprints. I'd be like, drive to that neighborhood, get to the end of it, like park, because you'd have to go all the way around, right?
Yeah.
So like, just be like, bah, 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 like you're running down the street. Probably looked like a psychopath, but like they'd be like, yeah, just tell me how many hours it was. Yeah, that was actually a pretty fun job. They're like, tell me how many hours it was, and then I'll charge you. And I was like, well, I did it took me an hour, but I was running, so it took me 3. They never had an issue. No, but they never had an issue with it because they're like, "Wow, really?" Because it takes me 4 when I do it, and I'm like, "How the hell does it take you 4? Yeah. Like, what are you doing?" But that was one of them. I now know
why you have such good cardio. You were just running like all the time.
Well, I had horrible cardio back then. That's why I was running. Yeah, that's why I was running. It's because I needed to get cardio.
Well, actually, let's touch on that because I'm a guy who's as skinny as I am, still trying to improve my cardio. Like, how did you finally get your cardio to where it's at today?
I mean, right now, let's not talk about that. But when I'm in shape, then let's talk about that.
When
It's
we're
mainly-
6-pack ready, you know.
Yeah, when
like,
I'm summer ready
when
and
we're
fight
summer
ready.
beach bod ready.
I have like a nice split on that. Like I try to do 2 days, because I still do strength and conditioning. So I'll always have 1 day of rest, like complete rest of like I don't do anything just because I have to. But I'll do like 2 days of like some kind of sprint. So what I like to do is either like an Aerodyne like bike and just do like 20 minutes of just 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and just do that. Or that'll be like at the end of my workout. Or I'll do like 2 days of long distance running. Like I'll go anywhere from like 3 to 5 miles, nothing crazy. And then usually I'll sprinkle in another day of like, I'll probably do like 3 days of that or something. But then I'll usually have like 1 day of just like chilling out or 2 days of just chilling out. But that's like my cardio work. Mainly it's all just training. But back to the jobs. I was I did that. The flyer passer outer guy. Made decent money for a kid that
Flyer
was
sprinter.
Yeah, flyer sprinter. I worked as a dishwasher in another restaurant called Harlow's that's no longer around, which was a shithole.
I was about to say shout out to Harlow's, but I
No,
guess
they're
not.
no longer around. There was a dishwasher at Islands and also busser and all that other stuff. Worked at a UFC gym, back to a restaurant, back to a UFC gym, back to Storm, another gym. And then, actually, there was Subfighter somewhere in there. I was training just people just at Subfighter. And then, yeah, I've had like 10 different jobs now.
Yeah, that's a good amount of jobs.
Oh, I forgot the termite job too. That was when I was like 15 and 16. So like 11. I don't know.
That's a good amount of jobs. Like,
No, I'm just get fired a lot. I'm just kidding. I've never actually been fired. No, I just had a lot of places. Actually, I've had a lot of places shut down when I was working there. I'm really bad luck. Don't
I was about
hire
to say
me.
bad
Don't
luck.
hire me. I'm really bad luck for your business. Like,
I mean, we're still going here, and I think Storm's doing well.
yeah. Well, yeah. We're in quarantine time.
Yeah,
So.
we're in a little bit of unpredicted, crazy times, but
So we don't know. But
before then,
they were doing great, yeah.
Yeah,
So
before.
don't hire me because I have shut down 2 different UFC gyms. There's an Islands that's no longer there that I used to work at. There's Harlow's that no longer exists that I used to work at. And then my business that I created failed because I just didn't want to do it anymore. And then I think that's it.
So is the moral of the story: don't start a business with you, or
Wait, I probably shouldn't say that.
no? Well,
Oh well. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Don't.
probably.
Actually, not. Just don't hire me as an employee
yeah,
at your business. It's probably the moral of that story.
no. Like as funny as it is, I don't think one busser is the fault of an entire restaurant.
Neither do I. But I'm.
I mean, if you really want to interpret that joke as literal,
sure.
you got other problems, buddy.
Go for
So
it.
you worked all these jobs. So like, what? I guess you could say like, how did you? The start of like your personal and your current job now, of like training people and working at gyms. Like, how did you get that kind of UFC job or UFC gym?
I
job?
was completely unqualified for that job. Let me start that off right now. I had
Woohoo.
no fucking clue what I was doing. So I got the job. Remember I was telling you about the guy that was teaching me UFC. Was teaching me UFC at a UFC gym. The guy was teaching me jiu-jitsu at a UFC gym, Geoff Willingham. Fantastic coach. I think he has 2 different black belts at this point. He has one under Pedro Sauer and then one under 10th Planet. I believe he has one under 10th Planet. It might be
That-
brown.
that's-
He at least a brown belt. I know
Those
that.
are hard belts to get.
Yeah,
like,
so
under
he
those
has,
tools.
and as well as a bunch of like 30-something professional fights. But he was teaching me jiu-jitsu, did a couple jiu-jitsu tournaments underneath him. I was training at the UFC gym in RSM. They had somebody not show up to work for whatever reason, and I think they were sick or they just I don't know, they just didn't show up. So they need some last-minute replacement. Geoff still has to teach the jiu-jitsu class, so he goes, hey, go teach the kickboxing class. He had already taught me like the basic strikes. Like I understood combinations. But at this point, this is the funny part, at this point, I still thought I was an orthodox fighter. So at this point, I fight southpaw because I used to wrestle with my right leg forward. I'm still right-handed. But at that point, I was training as an orthodox fighter. So it's just like this whole weird thing. But I was completely unqualified, randomly filled in on 2 classes. I don't think I even got paid for them. But filled in on those 2 classes, and then he basically was like, here's what you do. Give him a combination, make him do it for 2 minutes, give him a minute, have him just do like hooks. and we're like kicks, and I'm like, all right, great, I got it. And he's like, and then 30 seconds, have him do like push-ups or squats. I'm like, great, I got it. I'm like, how many rounds? And he's like, do that for like 45 minutes. I'm like, word.
So cardio kickboxing.
Yeah, it's
style.
this. Yeah, it's cardio kickboxing style. Not my like. I mean, it is what it is. They're not my favorite classes to teach, but they're not horrible classes.
What's the worst class you've taught? Like, what's the worst style class? Then I guess you could say, what is the worst experience coaching, or at least teaching a class?
I don't like teaching kids. I won't get into why, but I don't like teaching kids just because some kids are annoying. But
kids are hard, man.
Hey,
kids are hard to manage.
Your kids are, whoever's watching, if you have kids, your kids are great. Every other kid sucks.
Yeah, your kid, he's a superstar.
He's great.
He's going to be a champ.
Some of them were awesome, but then some of them kind of sucked, and then you still have to deal with them, and then their parents yell at you because you're like you kind of just have to at one point ignore them to go help other kids, and they're like, "Oh, my kid still doesn't get it," and you're like, "I'm sorry, there's like 60 kids here."
I'm trying to manage everybody of these very young.
So that would probably be the thing that I hate. I don't like doing the most.
Yeah. And then experience coaching, like just during a class, like somebody that you're like, how, like that just sticks out in your mind.
I mean, honestly, there's nothing like crazy. It's just like the constant, like, I don't want to have like, it's the kids that like cry when they lose and like, and I get it, like they're emotional and all that.
Those
that
can't deal with loss.
No, but there were some kids that like if you touched them, they would cry, and I'm like, I don't like your kid, like, and their parents were almost forcing them to be there. So it's like maybe it was one brother loved it and one brother absolutely did not want to be there, and you can tell the kid literally comes in crying because he doesn't want to be there. Yeah. The parent is pushing him through the door. The parent leaves the second they get there. That's what drove me insane about it.
Because you're a babysitter at that point.
Yeah, I'm a baby. You're a glorified babysitter, and they're getting it for whatever their kids, $100 a month, whatever their kids' membership is. They're getting a 2 hours, 5 days a week babysitter. That's cheap. It's smart. I get it. It sucks for me though.
But yeah, you're still trying to.
Yeah, so you still have to try to teach this kid, and he's crying whenever his brother even touches him, and then you split him off with somebody else. Someone who's nice and doesn't push him around or whatever, you're teaching him jujitsu. They tie up, the kid starts crying. He gets taken down, the kid starts crying. The kid doesn't want to be there, and you eventually have to be like, you know what, you can go sit down if you want. Mm-hmm. It's like, because I can't stop you from crying. Like, you keep crying, you keep disrupting the class. Like, I need you to go sit down. And I feel bad doing it, but at the same time, it's like you'll go tell the parents, like, dude, he doesn't want to be there, and they're like, oh, I know.
Yeah.
Like, I've had one parent say that to me. It was back when I was teaching at a UFC gym. Your kid does not want to do this. Oh, I know, but all my other kids want to be here, so, like, I need her to go here, too. And I'm like, okay, well, like, what do you want me to do with her? Because she literally cries when I try to get her to do anything, and it's just not fair to anybody. Mm-hmm. So, that's the worst.
Wait, how did you handle that? If it's, like, this, like, at least how do you handle, like, when they don't want to be there? Do you just kind of, like, okay, kid, go do your thing? Or?
It depends. I mean, it depends. At a certain point, I just tell them, like, there was a couple kids like that, and you just go, we used to have, like, a little bag that would just sit on the ground, like a little kickboxing bag that would sit on the ground, and we would just be like, all right, go sit on the bag. Like, if you don't want to do what we're doing, go sit on the bag. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else I can say. Or you make them do push-ups or whatever, but, like, there's only so many times where I can have the same kid just do push-ups for, like, 20 minutes straight. Like,
the kid comes out with like the best chest of all time. He's like, I didn't learn any martial arts, but goddamn, these biceps, though.
He's going to hit you once and he's going to knock you out because he's strong as shit. But
he never learned the technique, too.
Yeah, and there's only, like, I feel like at a certain point, that's just like what is that? Child abuse? Yeah, it's just child abuse at that point.
No, it's an emotional abuse. You could definitely make that because the kid doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, so I'm like, dude, I'm not going to, like hurt this kid's ego and just make him do push-ups in front of everybody for like 10 minutes and then be like, all right, go cry in the corner now.
Like, it sounds like my childhood. Like,
sounds like being a Subfighter getting beaten up.
For real. I remember the one day that, like, I think I was sick, but like it was like on a Monday class and we were like nearing the end. I was just, for some reason, it was like fall, so I had like just something was off. You know what I mean? Like those days you're sick and you're just like not a step fast. You're just, your cardio isn't there or whatever.
Everyone has off days.
And I still remember, and then like that's why this gym at least works for me so well.
They'll still beat you up.
Like, what?
They'll still beat you up, though. You're like, hey, I don't feel good. You're like, all right, cool.
No, like, I remember, and like, I just like couldn't do my conditioning. I was just like tired. I was like trying to catch my breath, and Adam just goes, "Hey, ain't nobody gonna fucking hold you to what you wrote down in the back, huh?" Because like we have a little like chalk wall, and you can write your goals in your 2020. I wrote just something that meant like competitive fury and just work hard, just something that means something to me. And he fucking just yells, he's like, "Ain't nobody gonna hold your fucking hand to that." And I got so fired up. I'm like, "Yeah, he's right." Ah, like, I started going mad.
It's my favorite Adam Lynn quote.
Yeah,
it's super simple. It goes, "Fuck you." It's the whole quote. Adam Lynn.
Adam Lynn.
Put a T.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
That should be on his gravestone. We'll all be crying. Like, we'll be like,
just says "fuck you."
We're all like, I can't wait till we're all like done competing and like when.
No, I don't want that to happen. Don't wish that on me.
I'm saying like what like from your fighting career, what was like the one quote from your coach that he told you that stood out?
Everyone
Fuck
one
you.
by one goes up and goes, "Fuck you."
Fuck you. We're all in unison. What was the one thing that stood out to you that motivated you the most? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy is like with Adam, like as tough as he is, like it's all from love. You know? Like it is.
I mean, it's not like he's actually trying to beat you up. No. Well, I mean,
like this is a tough sport.
Debatable.
Like,
he might be trying to beat you up, but it's not.
But that's
that,
competition, though. Like that's still like at the end of the day, that's how it is. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've had a lot of people argue that we spar hard here, which is weird, but.
I mean, yes, you can make that argument, but also I've trained here for a year and I don't spar every week, you know, like I'm not all the time, but like you just be smart about it here. Like I don't, maybe some weeks if I've been training a lot and I feel good, I'll come and do the Friday spar.
I spar
every week. Yeah, Geoff spars every week. You spar like what, 2-3 times a week or?
2, 3. I try to do 3. I try to do
because you go like
Monday is like our kickboxing sparring, and then Wednesday I'll try to go to Raw Talent and do some like boxing rounds.
Yep.
It's usually not a lot though.
Chewy.
Hey, what's up, coach? It's usually not a lot of rounds. It's like 4 to 6, something like that. Like nothing crazy.
It's like technique rounds, right?
Yeah,
or like
it's like more technical. Like you're trying to just get work in, and then Friday is like the Adam Lynn fuck you day.
It's murder days.
Yeah,
I've been here on those days. I've had more than my fair share of being
it's
here.
It's an open mat. You all are invited.
That's where I got khabibed by Geoff.
That's where I got my nose broken.
Yep. That's where I've been. Yeah, that's where I've been leg kicked so hard I gone home limping. You know.
That's every day, dude. Calm down.
That's true. Like
we don't spar that hard though.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. And like, but it's like I think it's just the mentality of like you're gonna work hard and it's gonna be intense here, and so it just kind of carries over.
Well, like, I mean, it's up to you though.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Like you said, there's no right or wrong answer to all this. It's what works for you, you know. And
your answer, my answer, and the truth.
That's true. So let's get back into like I guess more kind of personal stories, more stories about you. You know?
Fine, I have one. It was because I'm sitting on a Victoria's Secret pink towel right now. This is gonna be disgusting, and I'm disgusted by it. But also, I kind of like the result. Actually, whatever. But I had an ex-girlfriend that worked at Victoria's Secret. She told me because she was the I don't know what to call them, bra size specialist person, whatever.
Bra expert.
Yeah, sure. She told me. Bitches that go and get their tits done come in way too early with their stitches still in their boobs and they bleed all over everything. That's disgusting. Like, just why? Wait a week.
Maybe they just
PSA,
get excited.
If you get your tits done, wait 2 weeks or 3. I don't know, whatever your doctor recommends. Wait that time.
That's definitely a prominent thing in where we live.
Bleed. Yeah, we live in Orange County. We live in South Orange County, so there's probably a lot of boob jobs around here.
Oh, there's a lot. I've like literally friends who like
do it.
Whose moms have them. Like
I'm not saying. Oh, hold on. I have to clarify real quick. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying don't do boob jobs. I'm saying don't go to Victoria's Secret, as in the towel I'm sitting on, and then bleed on everything. It's gross. They don't like that. Yeah. From what I've been told.
No, I don't think you've worked at a Victoria's Secret yet.
No, they wouldn't. If I did, they wouldn't let me be the guy that fondles girls' boobs. I don't think.
I don't think there's fondling involved in the job.
I'm not in. Like I said, I didn't do the job, so I don't know. They might fondle. I don't know. It's all hearsay.
Yeah, like you just walk up and do a Victoria's Secret. Hey, young girl who's 20 years younger than me. You know, figure out my cup size by fondling.
It's a 45-year-old man. Hey, I got you. Come into this van.
All I'm thinking of now is just like, do you need a helping hand? Like,
have you ever seen? There's this like one meme, and it's like I think it was a Halloween costume, but this guy put a box on him, and it was like just on his head, and like it was like right eye level, like from his like nose out was like 2 little cutouts, like just little half moons, almost like an upside down like McDonald's arches, and then on the front of it. It says mammogram machine. And I thought that was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is great. Is that your next costume, Jeff? Or just something like that?
It's not, see, now it's not original because I told you where I got it from, so I can't do it. But
I ruined your idea now.
Well, I ruined it. But
well,
yeah,
that's true.
I want it to be that. I want it to be mammogram machine.
Just something like there's something where you can offer a helping hand.
Yeah.
You know? Just... It's like Mario Yamasaki has this heart every time you come out to the garage. Like,
is he doing Wu-Tang? No.
No.
He's doing titties.
He's offering a helping hand.
You're not helping my case with my nickname here.
Yeah, the gentleman.
Yeah, it's actually it's up there. It's embroidered on my shorts. It got weirdly lighter.
Yeah, the ghost came on. He turned on a light for us.
Yo, don't talk about that. There's actually a ghost here.
You know, let's get into that.
No,
let's get into this debate of there being a ghost here, because I've heard this from multiple people that there.
Who's debating that there is though?
I am.
You don't believe it.
I don't believe there's a ghost here.
I double dog dare you. I will lock the door in here. I'm not letting you out, and I'm turning those lights off.
Okay.
You will see something.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
We'll test that.
He lives up in the rafters up there, like up in the upper.
Is it gonna fight me? Are we gonna spar?
No, he's friendly.
Yeah, he seems pretty friendly from what I've heard.
But he's here.
Okay, so why, like, let's just get into it, because I've heard this from our own coach and his wife.
Yeah, no, yeah,
you know?
there you see, he's here.
Yeah.
Everyone who's been here and been the only person here, they've all had this experience of like,
except for me.
Okay, well, whatever. You're a hater. So
I'm a hater.
You're a hater.
I'm hating on you, ghost.
Yeah, well, come get him, John. Whatever your name. I don't know your name because you won't tell me it, but I'm gonna call you John for today.
John Doe today.
So Leah, Adam, me, a couple other people that I can't think of right now probably have all said this, but like you come in here, you like kind of turn your back, you like out of the corner of your eye, there's definitely somebody standing up there. For sure, it's happened to me like 4 or 5 times where you're like, I swear to God, somebody's up there. You go and look up there, whether the light's on or off. You look up there and there's nobody up there, and you're like, okay. One time, the lights upstairs turned off when nobody was here. Nobody. And then I went up there, turned them on and off and on and on again, and then they went back on. That's ghost shit.
That sounds like electrical issues.
It's ghosts.
That sounds like just your lights, your
No, it's
wires.
ghosts. It's haunted here.
Okay, let me bring my side of this debate.
Bring your side, but
you know,
better come correct.
I am coming correct, Jeff. So I've been here, obviously, to set up the podcast, you know,
Sure.
and I show up here earlier alone, you know. And I've been up there. I've been in the back storage room where it's the darkest it could be, and I've walked around
It's
there
scary
myself.
back there, dude.
Yes, I'm aware, you know. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. I've sometimes thought, like, oh, maybe I saw something out of my eye, you know, hearing these stories, because I'm trying to see if it's legit and all that. But then I correct myself and say, no, you know, this is just a natural response. Or we're animals. We're trained to look for danger, you know. And we live in a very industrialized society where at least where we don't live, we don't have to walk down and suspect something coming out and attacking us. So what I think it is just we're so safe or whatever. It's just our mind, our mental.
Hater. You're a hater.
I just don't
Sitting
think there's
on
a
Haterade.
ghost.
There's a ghost, dude.
I've been here alone, Jeff, and I've been in the darkest part of here, in the gym,
Whatever, dude.
where people said that.
I've given you concrete evidence that was not evidence because I have no way of proving it, yet you won't believe me.
You're making it hard to debate with
Such
that.
a hater.
Such a hater. I'm just looking like a hater right now, aren't I?
I got
Yeah,
all
dude,
these
this place-
people debating me,
This
but
place is haunted.
I just don't believe you.
That's fine.
Till I see said ghost myself. I'm
Well,
willing to
here's
see
my
you
here's my
if you're here.
counterpoint. John the ghost. We're gonna say his name's John.
Yeah.
he just like Jesus, he loves knockouts and he loves violence. So if he doesn't see it in that day, he's not coming out. But if he saw it in that day and you got, potentially it was like you that got hit really hard, then you start to see him.
That sounds like a concussion, Jeff.
Oh, no.
That sounds like your brain getting rocked.
You're not a doctor.
You're right, I'm not a doctor. Like
You're not a
future
doctor.
Dr. Freelo.
You're not a doctor. He's a historian, all right? Let's not call him doctor.
Yeah.
The boy's a historian. He's lying to you if he wants to.
He's modern day Indiana Jones, you know?
It's true.
He knows how to fight, he knows martial arts, you know? He shot guns, been a Marine, like, and he studies history.
When you said shotgun, I thought you meant shotgunning beer. I was like, oh,
He's definitely done that.
No, he definitely does that.
Like,
He definitely does that. I love watching him do that.
He's how many? You guys had some wild nights, haven't you? Let's get into that. You know, our best friend Free Love. You know, shout out to the Fight Life Connoisseurs, just the YouTube channel you currently are on. You know, and shout out to Andrew. Get some free love. You guys would say are like best friends.
He's one of my best friends.
One of your best friends, and have had
trained
some
them for freaking 6 years now. So yeah,
it's literally when you watch them spar like two old, like just two dancing partners, basically.
We know what it's
because
so
they
annoying.
know each other so well. Like I've never seen so many scrambles in a spar.
It's so annoying sparring him when he knows exactly what you're gonna do. Dude.
I watch you two spar and I get tired. Like just with how many takedowns are shot, how many scrambles are happening, I'm like,
well, neither
my
of us,
breath is
at
gone.
this point, both of us know our setups for like
Yeah.
our takedowns, and both of us know our setups for like you have to get mad creative when you're with them or with him. At
He's
least
awkward.
Me.
He's awkward.
He has an awkward style, but also at the same time, it's like he just knows. He knows like I do all these certain things like with motion, and he knows like, all right, I'm just moving. I'm getting out of here. I don't want any part of that, and it's annoying. And he does. I do the same thing with him, but. Yes, we have had some crazy nights. So, all right, I wouldn't say crazy, but
just some fun stories, some funny times, you know.
Fine. All right, so Freelo's my strip club buddy. So
let's get right into it.
Yeah, Freelo's my strip club buddy. So
you definitely paid
Mom,
for some
you
tuitions.
know this story, and I'm sorry. I love you.
Shout out to Mrs. Mellor. I got to see. I sat next to your family in your first pro fight. Very nice people. Very kind. Very supportive.
They cool.
They're cool.
But yeah, we went to so I think it was called Angels Cabaret. That's what it was called. Shout out Angels Cabaret, best. So Tuesday nights they do like I don't know if they still do it every Tuesday night, but they do hot oil wrestling. So
this is the fun of being a fighter and like having an open schedule. Is you're on Tuesday night at oil wrestling.
Oh no, I had to be at work at 6 a.m.
Oh nice.
So hot oil wrestling, and this was like right after winning the state title. So we're going out, we're partying. I don't know why we decided on a Tuesday night. I think it was planned because of the whole Angels Cabaret thing. But we go to that place. I think I went to the bathroom, and Freelove signed me up to be one of the guys that was one of the guys that got on stage. There was to hot oil wrestle. So there was me, another woman, and another guy on the stage with 3 other strippers. And then
Were you just shirtless or in a thong? Or
no, so they would give us shorts.
Okay.
They gave me shorts that were way too fucking big. So
as always, being a skinny guy, that's the problem.
So I tied them as tight as I could, and they still weren't too big. So I had to like roll them up and stuff them into my underwear. So I had to wear my underwear. So those underwear were donezo after that. But so we do the whole thing.
Wait. Did you give yourself a wedgie trying to like tuck it in?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And
you were just rocking straight man thong at that point. The broke man's man thong.
No, it was bad. And then, so I'm rocking that shit. And then he signed me up for that. So I was like, fuck that. I'm going to sign you up for something. They did another auction. And the funniest part about these auctions, nobody went over $40. It hit $40 and everyone was like, nope. And you visibly saw everyone go like, all right, I got $20 starting. They go 20, 25, 25, 30, 35, 40. And everybody just...
So wait, it was like the first guy to hit 40.
Yeah, once you got to 40, everyone else went, not paying any more than that.
So the first guy to just...
Nope, man math. It's not happening.
What if you just like started off the auction by just going 40 and then everybody stops? Like,
honestly, that might have been the move. But nobody did that because of the law of strip clubs. So
There's a law in strip clubs.
apparently, I don't know. Apparently, hot oil wrestling only costs $40.
The lessons you're learning of this Fight Life Lessons podcast.
Apparently.
Of strip clubs.
But we get to 40, whatever. I pay $40 to sign Free Love up to be the oil boy. I didn't really think about what the oil boy was when I signed him up, but I paid for
you
this.
up, like...
No. He got the better job. He was oiling up the strippers before. So he didn't
that's way more badass.
Yeah, right? So he didn't get covered with baby oil at all. He's just spraying them. And it was funny because he used a whole bottle and then grabbed another one. And then it was funny. I loved watching him do that. It was funny. Yeah. But
shout out to his long term.
Talk about these things. But he that was his job. Which, mind you, he didn't really do anything. He was just spraying them with oil. Yeah. So whatever. I was the dirty.
I could imagine Free Love getting serious about it too, being like,
he was like an artist, dude. Yeah. He was drawing mandalas and shit. Yeah. And but no,
he's like, I have a job assigned to me.
Yeah. So he did that, and then he goes and sits down and enjoys the rest of it while they I basically got fucked up by 3 strippers because I'm like, I don't want to hurt anyone. I'm not gonna do it. But at one point, one of them
he was half Nelson a bitch.
I should have just guillotined one of those hoes. But fucking
throws up a triangle.
Dude, one of them put me in a triangle.
Wow.
But and I think that's where I got pink eye. But yeah, I did get pink eye.
I did not know you had pink eye at this time. I knew you when you had this.
No, you didn't see me at the gym. Clearly, it's contagious, dude. But I did get pink eye. And but that was, I think, because one of them put their feet on my shoulders and then did that boom, smack their fucking ass into my face.
What was your natural defense? Tongue going? Or?
No, my natural defense was to get dome rocked and then smack my head on the stage.
Jesus Christ!
But pretty sure that bitch gave me a concussion.
I was about to say,
and
you left with a concussion and giving away your dollar bills.
But one of them, because it's all 3 of them, they're kind of switching around, and then one of them comes at me, and I just scissor sweeped her and was like, "Whoop, get off!" and did that one time, and she looked at me like, "You motherfucker," and jumped on top of me again, and I was like, "Oh shit, my bad," And then it was funny.
Start throwing punches?
No, they were chill. No, it was chill. It wasn't bad, but
it just gets competitive.
You can see this is a girl that had brothers growing up, and she's like, "What?" and jumps
You're pushing me, motherfucker.
Yeah, right. And then they gave me a hug afterwards, and they were like, "You were really fun," blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then Free Love's doing his wingman thing, "This is Geoff Mellor, state champ." I'm like, "Dude, shut up. They're strippers. They don't care."
Yeah. And that is the hard part when you try to flex anything MMA to a non-MMA person. They understand nothing.
They don't give 2 fucks.
You could hype up a guy, talk about how great he is, and genuinely he'll be great. What that means to the average person is absolutely nothing.
Hold on, the story gets better. You gotta let me finish the story. So we then. After that, and mind you, I'm still, because I had to bail and leave my boxers there, and I'm free balling it in my jeans now, or whatever I was wearing. And so I'm free balling it, still completely covered in baby oil, from head to toe, covered in baby oil. Had just gotten pink eye from this baby oil, and then also
that's some gross baby oil.
Yeah, and it was. We went to another place after that, and then we shut down the library.
Free Love washed himself.
He didn't have to. He wasn't covered in oil. I was.
But didn't he have to apply it, you said?
Well, dude, all you gotta do is wash your hands.
I hope so. I hope he washed his hands thoroughly.
I mean, I probably did not, because the whole rest of my body was covered. And the funniest part was going to the second place. And
the night didn't end.
The night didn't end. No, it kept going. We shut down the second place. The funniest part was getting a lap dance from a stripper and her touching you and be like, "Why the fuck are you covered in baby oil?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
I've had a wild night. I don't know.
I'm just annihilated. And you're like, "I don't know. I didn't do it."
I remembered 8 shots ago. I don't know.
No, okay, cool.
So
they still took my money, clearly. And
it was just greasy,
Yeah, well, hey, probably made the next guy a little bit more happy. He's like, "Why are you so slippery? I like this."
His hands are slick.
Yeah,
he's slipping off her.
Yeah, so I was the slippery guy at a strip club. Fun days. Free Love, hit me up.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Angel's Cabaret on Tuesday when Corona ends.
Yeah. Well, we're not sitting 6 feet apart.
I don't want pink eye again. I'm not getting up on that stage. Adam, When you turn 21, let's go to Angels Cabaret on Tuesday.
That's what I'm afraid for when I turn 21.
It's
like
dude, they wear bikinis.
I know.
It's not topless. Come on.
Like when I do turn 21.
Yes.
I hang out with fighters and former service members and current members. I might die the day I turn 21 because I know my stupid ass is gonna be like, Jeff, I'm 21. Let's go have a fun night. You know.
Oh, I will call the Uber immediately. I'll be like, Uber, what is your apartment? I'm Ubering to his apartment, and then we are going everywhere.
Well, I live at home, so
that's fine.
I'll just leave. My dad's like, where are you going? I'm like, Dad, I love you.
I will look at him and go, no questions.
No questions. Top secret mission.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions. Don't ask them too.
I'm part of the CIA. Don't ask questions.
I'm part of the FBI, female body inspectors.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one.
We keep it slick here. just like how you were.
Oh yeah, so slick.
Puns on puns, and so that is. How did that end? How did you? So you ended up at a second strip club, and what? You just enjoyed the night and just went home hammered, and had to wake up for work.
Just took the Uber home, dude. I actually crashed on Freelo's place, but yeah, took the Uber home.
Hey man, don't drink and drive. Take the Uber home.
It's true.
So that's what happened when you went. So do you always obviously when
we don't usually go that hard. That was just I don't know why we did that. That was an off night.
It was just because of the winning the state title and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What was that like? What's it like to because you had obviously had 2-3 other belts in other organizations or something before you
two at that point.
You had 2. So let's go back let's talk about the amateur career, and we'll come back to more funny personal stories. But let's go back to the amateur career. What was it like winning that first championship? You had started this to just give it a shot, and now you have this fire under you from the first loss.
I mean, that one was honestly probably the coolest. It was a smaller venue, but it was somewhere that I had fought 6 or 7 times before that. Mm-hmm. So that was cool that I think I went undefeated at that venue at least. No.
Yeah. You were on a winning streak?
No, that's not true. I didn't because I lost for that promotion the first fight. But I had won 7 in a row for that one promotion. So it was I was almost just kind of finally, I get something. But I understand. It was him, and the guy who runs the promotion is now actually my manager. So he was trying to kind of obviously help me grow as a fighter and help me build up and all that. So yeah, that was really cool. Just being all right, after seven fights in a row, winning in this promotion, I get to fight for their belt now.
Because depending on the weight class for amateurs, you could just be 2-3 fights in. They're all we ain't got anybody else fight for a belt.
Yeah, right? I mean, especially with the heavier weights, they don't really, but they don't usually fight as many fights anyways. Before they go pro. Yeah. Because I mean,
it's when it's
one punch,
a lighter, shallow, and it's a shallower type of division. I think I was literally looking at the heavyweight rankings and
there's only total 10 or 8 people.
Yeah,
out of 10.
Well, what's crazy is OSP was ranked higher. He's had one heavyweight fight, and he's ranked higher than majority of their roster. So every other big guy goes to other sports to make money, I guess. NFL. If we had.
Well, there's a lot of NFL guys now crossing over.
Yeah, no, that's definitely cool, and it's cool to see you're seeing more athletes like Dominic Reyes. What's fascinating to see about him is he doesn't move like these other fighters because he's been a safety. So it's just. Their understanding of movement and how they move within a small, short space is just fascinating to see.
Yeah. I mean, they're just pure explosiveness. And when it's one punch and it's that's the fight. Damn, all right, cool.
But even you see some smaller guys, maybe you weren't the best, you were a decent high school player, but you didn't have the size to go into college or whatever. And you even see, now you see guys then transition in college and they still wrestle or whatever, and they transition to MMA. And some guys are good. I believe Uriah Faber had played football all his life and then had wrestled. And then,
but he was too small to ever be.
No, he wouldn't
be anything. Even in I don't even. Did he play in college or anything like that? Okay, yeah. Then
good luck.
I was gonna say the guy weighed 155 pounds soaking wet. So
yeah,
I know he fought at 155 a couple times.
Mm-hmm. I think he won. No. I was about to say I think he won a title there, but he didn't.
He probably did it a lower.
He won a title at 45. Is what he won at, yes. I believe. And then he because he fought Dominic Cruz the first time for the title. And yeah. No, and What was it? Oh yeah. Back to the promotion. So you had gone on a 7-fight winning streak, and so they finally give you that title shot, and you're like, finally, you know. So like, what was that kind of like preparing for that? You know, was it different? You know, because it's a new experience. You're fighting for a title. I guess there's more stakes in a way, but not really.
It was like a little bit different, but also it was kind of nice that it was somewhere that I had fought so many times.
Okay, so
like,
familiar setting.
Yeah, it was a familiar setting. It was almost like, all right, this is my place. Like, I fight here. This is my building. Like, yeah, I'm a white guy in this. I'm talking about Long Beach, the Metroflex, but apparently I owned Metroflex Long Beach at that point. That was my thinking. Yeah. So I was like,
in your mind, you were the champion.
Yeah, in my mind, I was
Metroflex Long Beach.
Metroflex Long Beach. I own you in my mind. It's not true, clearly, but
that was the first venue I'd been at to watch live MMA. I think was the Long Beach Metroflex.
That's a cool venue, though. It's cool to watch.
It's interesting because you're like, it's a normal gym, and then they just set up a ring, and it's like, it's kind of like a fight club. Yeah, like fight club style, but like a little more professional. You see, there's taco trucks there. Yeah. Some bomb tacos.
They have good food.
That is the one thing about any MMA live event. But bomb tacos, always a good taco truck.
Yeah, like I said in my last fight, I was eating tacos in the locker room.
For real, I bet they were fire.
They were good.
Every time. Like what? I will never understand it. Shout out to all tacos. That's why it's one of the greatest foods of all time. But it's like tacos. Simple little griller. It could be the most random lady you've never met or seen her anywhere, and she's been doing it for 47 years. She's been doing it for 47 years, and she's the master of making tacos. And you're like, how do you make this so good? I try to do this at home, and it tastes like dog shit. Like,
she's like, I've been making tortillas since I was 3.
I'm the tortilla master. You don't know, like, that's why. No, so you know, it's a cool venue. You'd been familiar, and so it wasn't like this big, I guess, pressure. You would say.
Not so much. This first, because I fought for the state title twice. The first time I fought for the state title was actually at the Metroflex, and that was actually a lot more nerve wracking. Obviously, I lost it, but that was a lot more nerve wracking. So that one was, I mean, just because I was like, oh, I put this like big cloud over it of like, or I put the belt on the pedestal and was like, oh, it's the state title, and it's like, it's an amateur belt.
Yeah, when it's amateur, it's just another fight.
Yeah,
you know?
You could fight. I've had fights against amateurs that had no business being in the ring, and then I've had fights with guys that fucking are now undefeated professionals, and I fought them for free. So
what is that kind of like I guess, because you're at the start of your career, and like, I guess what in terms of competition and all that, and like having to change your mindset, like obviously with those first few fights, like you said, you bought people that have no business being there, or maybe they're just like, well, I want to give this a shot, but they maybe have one fight and they never do it again. Versus now you're at a pro level where everybody's they're all in, you know, and you better be all in if you get to this point, or
you know, you're right for the most part. I mean, at the lower levels, you'll still find some guys that are like that. They're not bad. They know what they're doing, but they're not
journeyman fighters.
Yeah, they're not like high level. Like, this guy knows how to do everything. Like, maybe they're good at one thing.
Yeah. Specialists, you know.
Yeah,
like they're saying. Well,
they're not even great at one thing. They're good at one thing.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
No, too much credit.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna give everybody too much credit.
That's my favorite part of Geoff.
Down here.
You're down here.
But
if that doesn't light a fire under somebody's ass, like, I don't know what to do for you.
Step up.
For real, like,
fight me, Corona. But no, I mean, there's still those guys that like there's fights on Indian casinos that you see that it's like, where did they find this guy? And they probably found him in a neighborhood,
or pulled him out of the crowd that night because somebody pulled out. Yeah.
I've seen that one time actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Even now?
I think no. That was a couple. That was probably.
Because in my stupid young man's mind, who like loves martial arts, but also like the old school Wild West era of MMA a little bit.
I mean, if it's like an Indian casino, you don't even technically need any kind of sanctioning.
That's crazy. I don't know why. I think it would be so cool. Obviously, it's completely stupid. Don't ever do this. But like, to just be like at an MMA event, you know, just like, I'm still trained all week, and they're just like, we need you to fight. Like, ready to go.
There's some guys that works out for them.
Yeah. That would be cool, but like, it's also like, don't do that. Just train, you know, be smart, have fight camps.
Do it.
Be prepared.
Buck it. Do it.
Do it.
Go fight somebody.
Which, you know, it's like Fight Club.
Your homework is to go kill a wild animal.
Exactly. with
That's
with your
another
bare
thing I
hands.
heard Adam say to somebody one time, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Your homework is to go kill a
Yeah,
wild
you gotta
animal.
go kill and skin a wild animal. Clearly joking, but kind of not really joking.
That is like the one thing that's my favorite part of Adam is like Adam is like he'll allow your crazy here, I guess. Like when I'm training, I sound like the most psychopathic person, you know, because I'll just say things to hype myself up. Like the other day, I like turned to him in the middle of like sprints. I'm like, "What did the Warriors say to the star?" Like screaming some motivational thing I heard, and he just responds with the same enthusiasm.
What did the wolf say? What did the fox say? Screaming that shit. He's like, I don't fucking know, dude.
I don't know, but whatever works for you.
Damn.
No, like, and, you know, you gotta have a place to get that out. You know,
Yeah.
Like, as a man, you just have certain energies.
As a human being.
As a human being, you know,
I've
not just
seen-
as a man. As a human being, you have certain energies.
Women cut people's faces off.
So, like you said, you had lost that state title and all, or not the state title, but that first championship fight. So, what was it like winning your first championship after you had fought in the first one? You're like, okay, this is just another fight.
So you're talking about my last amateur when I won it?
Just the first championship belt you won.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll get to the last one you
okay,
won.
okay.
Like just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
difference in feelings and how it felt.
Honestly, the first and the last one had very similar feelings of like, I had this mentality of like, this is already mine. But the first one, I mean, I don't know. I felt like it was cool, but at the same time, it wasn't what I was going after.
Yeah.
So I was like, almost like, all right, here's another stepping stone. Like, here, boom, put that in your back pocket. Let's go to the next one. Like, that was my main thinking point on that one. And then when that brought me to that one, the state title, my last amateur fight, it was almost like the same thing of like, that was a missed step that I like didn't hit the first time. So I was like, all right, we're going back second time. Boom. There's no way I'm like, put that in my back pocket. There's no way I'm losing this second one. So like everyone had a little bit of a different feeling because I won the knockout promotions. That one was like almost, I thought in my mind was guaranteed. The Spar Star promotion one, like I want to say I thought it was guaranteed, but I think I was trying to lie to myself.
You have to.
Yeah, a little
like,
bit.
Like if you're going into a fight and you're saying I'm gonna lose, what do you think is gonna happen?
true. No, it is true. But I was trying to.
I mean, you were hyping yourself up.
Yeah, I was trying to hype myself up for that. But then when I fought for that state title the second time, the last amateur fight, it was the same same as the first. Like, all right, I've already done this before. He hasn't done this before. I'm gonna win this. Like, put that in the back pocket.
Yeah. Like it was just another fight. Is basically how you
Yeah,
kinda
basically.
treated it.
Actually, my favorite part about that was Adam always has this weird way because we've known each other for so long. He has this weird way of like, and we get along very well, I would say.
It's a very like if I had to say like the most comparative relationship is like a TJ Dillashaw, Dwayne Ludwig. I guess you could say.
I guess.
You know,
I mean,
in terms of like closeness and
in a
like how
certain
you
way.
respond.
Well, we have like certain phrases that like, if anyone else were to say it to me, it would mean nothing.
Yeah.
But then he'll say something to me, and I'm like, all right, you're right. But he before that last fight, he's like, he literally looks at me and goes, before the last CAMO fight, he looks at me and he's like, it's just another Friday, man. Just another Friday. Like,
Yeah.
let's go have fun. You spar. He's like, you practice to fight every week. And that was like my mantra walking out, because he told me that on the stage, and then they walk you out, and then you get into the cage. So he told me that in the backstage. He's like, hey man, it's just another Friday. And I think he always, every time he switches it up, but he has some weird thing he says that like just hits, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I feel better now. Like,
No, he's definitely one of those coaches. Like, because even in fucking just him, and you're like having a conversation, he'll drop like this random gem on you.
Yeah.
That you'll think about for like a day or two. And you're like,
and I don't even
Oh,
think
that
he
makes sense.
realizes
Like,
it.
yeah, no, he doesn't.
He might even be talking shit and just
Yeah.
like making shit up in his head, but it still makes sense. And you're like,
and what's funny is like yeah, and that's why I'm saying like the parallel is even similar. Is like because you'll do the same thing and not realize it, or like in terms of like your
I
coaching or
repeat
something.
everything I've
Yeah.
ever heard. I've never had an
Basically.
original thought in my mind.
None, no. Like that's what you realize is Geoff is just basically able to rip somebody off really, really well.
Yeah, never.
And I've had times where I've like brought stuff up. I'm like, "Yo, what you said the other week to me, like that made sense, Geoff." And you're like, "What did I say again?"
What did I even say to you?
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'll put my own spin to it, but I steal other people's shit all the time. It's like
I still will never forget, like, you had this, it was actually after you won the state title. That week I came in to train, and again, going back to sparring, and a great thing that we learned on, like, sparring, would you agree with this? A large majority of sparring and how you get good at it is just mental, you know, and kind of like, because it's all about just reacting. It's what did you just train?
I mean, you have to learn,
use it into a practical sense.
Once you learn the basics, you should be sparring. Like, not on a hard level. Yeah. Not on a hard, like, but like, let's say you graduate from the beginner class, and I teach a beginner class. I'll even have my beginners do light sparring, like very light, very controlled. But like, almost, sometimes.
I'm a different story.
It depends on who is there.
Yes.
But,
we'll get into that.
Yeah, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, if you graduate from the beginner to the intermediate class, you should probably be doing some level of sparring. At least, like, some level of drill sparring.
You should be going live.
Yeah, you should be doing something because live. It's like the basics are the basics are the basics, but unless you learn how to actually use it, like you said, it's mental.
Yeah. It's like the best comparison is like people who like are very into guns, I guess you could say. Like, and I've seen comparisons like this where the guy who, like, let's say he owns a gun and every once in a while he goes out to the range. Yeah, he may know how to shoot a gun. He may be slightly better than the average person, but he's not going to be the same guy who's like, well, let me go into like the realistic tactical range where I have to then move around. I have to run around.
Some John Wick shit.
Yeah, some John Wick, or like every time I look on Instagram, I see like Coach T, Tyler Twombles, like what he does. Like,
shout out to Keanu Reeves because he actually learned how to do all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, damn. Like full like Keanu Reeves style training and all that. Like
Tyler Wambles does do that a lot.
Yeah, cool. Or like even Angel Cortez. I like look at his story and he does a lot.
Well, he's an ex-Army Ranger, so that's like he's like, I've done this real life, so I'm gonna go practice it.
Yeah, like those guys, I would feel more comfortable in a situation if like something went down, like they would react versus somebody who, like I said, who's like, yeah, they bought the gun for self-protection, but they're not going out and practicing like to that level.
Well, that's funny you say that because there's like, it's like Justin Governal, one of my first, you can maybe see the bottom of his little, oh, never mind, you can't. But you can see him right in the corner.
You can see his crotch.
Right here.
His
that's
red
Justin's
crotch.
Stomach and his crotch right there.
Yeah.
But
many a story behind that.
He was ex-Marine, ex-scout sniper, all that kind of stuff. And like, there was this one time where we had this one person, we don't need to get into names, of course, but this one person was basically like had this whole episode and like a bunch of stuff happened leading up to it, but then had this one like breaking point episode where we had to basically kick him out of the gym.
And that happens, you know.
I mean, it's a sport that attracts all kinds of people.
So you got to be a little nuts to do this. You know, you got to be a little.
But there's
it's like we said, all martial arts is about control.
There's a tipping point.
Learn to control everything.
No, he drives by, and we know for a fact it's him because we know what his car looks like, and like drives by and like throws a box into the gym, and we're like, what the hell? Like, he doesn't even like get out of the car. He throws it through like his driver's side window, and we're like, what the hell? Like, that was without anyone even like saying a thing. Like, we're like, that was definitely him. He's like, boom, Justin takes off, runs, and just kicks the shit out of this box, like clear across the parking lot. And he's like, immediately, like, you can see his heart's racing. He turns around, he's all bug-eyed. He's like, whoa, I thought I was going to lose my leg. Like, and we're like, dude, you're a psycho. Like, what is wrong? He's like, I don't know, man. I just saw a box and like just reacted. And I was like, moment, no, that's not. That's just a training. Like, it's been drilled into him.
That's just into you.
Yeah, but then he got hit with that adrenaline, and he was like, whoa, like I thought I was gonna die. And I was like, you're crazy, but thank you. I love you. Like, I feel safer having you around me now.
Oh my God. The guy who's willing to kick the IED is the guy you want holding your back in a cage fight.
Yes, I want him around me at all times. He's my bodyguard.
Didn't he? Wasn't he one of like besides obviously Coach Adam Lynn, like one of your bigger like key components at the start of your career?
Yeah, he was definitely like, he went to, I think he was in like my first like 10 fights or something like that. He was in my corner. He was actually, Adam wasn't in my first fight corner, but Justin was. Just because Adam was out of town that weekend or whatever.
Yeah, scheduling, it happens.
Yeah, whatever. And also, I was the first. That was my first fight. Who the fuck am I? He doesn't care. No, I'm just kidding. It was just he had a scheduling thing or whatever. But he
busy man.
Yeah. He Justin was in that corner, but yeah, he was like one of my first. I mean, first couple. I had a couple jiu-jitsu coaches before that, just random, like go into their classes and whatever. But he was one of my first like long-term jiu-jitsu coaches that also taught a lot of like MMA techniques. It wasn't all like whatever. So it wasn't all just like sport jiu-jitsu. Yeah, he taught a lot of sport jiu-jitsu, but there's a lot of stuff that like he would be like, hey, this is sport jiu-jitsu. I probably wouldn't use this in MMA, but it does work in MMA. But just my style, I wouldn't use it. But here, I'm going to show it anyways, and that kind of stuff. So he was.
Jiu-jitsu is definitely a sport of its own, especially now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The
absolutely.
techniques, like.
And then combat jiu-jitsu is a sport of its own, and then MMA is a sport of its own. They all have different rules. They all have different.
Grappling
things.
is just different.
And then wrestling is a different sport, and then judo is a different sport. It's all different. Dude.
It's what style works for you.
It's a different fight.
Yeah. So he was kind of there for the first 10 and
something like that. I don't know what the actual number is.
Because I remember like one of the like more interesting posts was like, again, one of the losses, like, sorry to go back to all those, where like, you know, it's a part of the history.
You learn more from those than you do from anything else.
It's like that old saying, you either win or you learn.
Yeah.
You know? And one of the things that I thought was like really motivating, and I was just like, this is interesting, was I think it was the fight you had, like you got a really bad concussion and you had to go to the hospital.
When
and,
I fought for Tough Enough. I fought Nathan Levy.
Yeah.
He's a good fighter. He's now 4-0.
That's like one of the most like famous clips on your page. You just taking that shot.
Dude, you Google my name, it's gonna come up. Someone made a GIF of it.
Oh goodness.
Oh well.
You still took it like a champ. You didn't even look rocked in it though.
Oh, I had no idea where I was, but he broke his hand on my forehead. But yeah, I think the post you're talking about is that. But then also Justin posted some video of
you guys just chilling, going like,
us in the hospital. Yeah, no, us in the hospital, and he's like, and my head's completely bandaged up, my ear is like bleeding out, and there's blood all over this towel that's in front of me because
you looked horrible.
Oh, I was so concussed. Every time they moved me, I would throw up. And I took that guy's hand with me. His hand broke.
I took his hand with my head.
He took my soul, but I took his hand.
He took my brain cells. I took his hand.
He did. He really did. But yeah, no, it's me, and I'm like all bandaged up, baby-faced at that point because I was only like 19 or 20. No, I was 20 because I had to get my girlfriend at the time either it was my girlfriend at the time or fucking Adam had to come. I don't remember who it was. Someone had to come and check me into my hotel. I couldn't even check into my own hotel that they gave me.
Probably your girlfriend.
I think it was her. She was a little bit older than me. I don't remember. But she had to come and check me in.
That was like the one thing that stood out because he said like...
yeah. I think it was that. I think it was. You're right.
Yeah.
But I was like, I couldn't even check into my own fucking hotel room. So my girlfriend at the time had to check me in. And then... then I got my shit rocked, and then we're in the hospital, and it's EDC weekend, so there's a bunch of literal fairies. I'm not making any slurs. There's a bunch of literal, like they're dressed
people dressed as fairies.
Yeah.
People dressed as
literal
the
fairies.
Like
and
rave fairies.
They're like raving.
We're talking about rave culture. Right
they're
now.
like raving in the they're dancing to no music. They're clearly like overdosing or overheating on fucking Molly or whatever. Yeah. And then there's me, and I'm like laying there like, and Justin puts the camera on me, and I just go, Vegas, yes. He's like, all good.
Well, what stood out to me about that post was like, and I still think it's interesting because I'll think about it, I was like, this really, because I've seen it just supporting friends who are fighters and all that, and like everybody, it's an up and down, you know?
Yeah.
But one of the interesting things he said was just like, how everybody will be there when you're winning, but you really know who's there for you when you lose.
Oh, like, yeah. I mean,
because who was really with you when you were in that, like in the hospital, in the emergency room and all that, like.
So to be honest with you, it was only because that was a fight in Vegas. I live in Southern California. It was only the people that really went out there that really actually cared too, which was like my parents. Obviously, my girlfriend went with me. My girlfriend at the time went with me. My ex-girlfriend, let's just say that.
Yeah.
And then
Adam,
Adam, and then Justin. So they were all in the hotel room with me. It was funny because actually, I think I didn't want to call Adam for whatever reason, but I was on the phone with my brother after the fight. Mind you, again, I'm still 20, but my dad gives me 2 beers. I'm drinking the first one, talking to my brother on the phone. He's like, oh yeah, watch the fight, whatever, good shit, blah blah blah, congrats, love you, brother. Boom, finish the first one, crack the second one, take a couple sips, still talking to him, and then I'm like behind the stage, like behind like curtains or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, just like I'm a fighter, like I can do this, I can go wherever I want. And then I like go to the phone, I'm like, hey man, I don't feel good, I'm gonna have to call you back. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I don't feel good, and just like hung up immediately. Of course he calls me right back, and I just don't answer. But I'm like throwing up in the trash can, and then a security guard runs up, and he's like, hey, you can't be back here. You need to leave. Get the fuck out of here. And I was like, literally had my gear bag on me, like with all my
Wait, was this
gloves.
before the fight?
This was after the fight, obviously, because
Okay.
I was concussed, and I was like, hey man, I don't feel good. Like that's when it hit me, like fucking a beer and a half in, and I'm like, I don't feel
God,
good.
that's
Again
terrible.
at 20,
Yeah.
dad, bad.
Yeah, it
but
wasn't
whatever.
your fault. But
Whatever.
Like, don't drink concuss, please.
Yeah, please don't. But whatever. I didn't know. They actually asked me to go to the hospital, and I refused. And then I started to feel like shit. And then
You're being Mr. Tough Guy.
I was being Mr. Tough Guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened. And then they tried to kick me out, and I had to be like, no, I'm a fighter. Go get me the medic, dude. Like, go get the medic. So the medic comes to me, and he's like, all right, cool. Yeah, you're going to the hospital. I know who you are. You're going. Let's go. And like, puts me in the ambulance, and I'm like, cool. Yeah, not fighting it at all at that point. I'm like, please, just anything, because the room is spinning. Like, I don't feel good. And yeah, ended up going there, and then like called Justin in the ambulance. My mom and my dad were already there, so they drove behind the ambulance. Called Justin. He's like, all right, man, I'm on the way. Took an Uber over there, I think. And then I think he called Adam, and I don't know. I may have called Adam. I don't remember. Somebody called Adam, and then Adam showed up. But he was already. It's funny. He said he's like, yeah. The second I sat down, because he was staying at his mom's place. The second I sat down, cracked a beer, my phone rang. I didn't even take a sip. My phone rang. Answer it, and he goes, cool. Gets up and goes to the hospital. And I was like, that was like one of the biggest things. I was like, oh, that was really cool. And
Wait,
I think that
Justin or
no, Adam, Coach
Okay.
Adam did, yeah. And I think that was Justin was already like he got the Uber and came to the hospital too. They both were there, but I think that was the one thing that my mom and my dad were like, okay, cool. We know you got a guy that's cool when he's not.
No,
gonna,
definitely.
because that was one of their first times meeting him too. So
Yeah.
they're like, okay, cool. We know we can trust him.
Yeah, well,
like,
in a way, like I was listening to like the Snoop Dogg Mike Tyson podcast the other day, and one of the things that he said that definitely like even in the sport of MMA, it almost kind of rings true is like when you take like especially a young athlete and you put him under the care of a coach, it's like as a parent you're like giving them up to another father almost or like
Yeah.
another figure like
Yeah, I call Adam Dad all the time.
yeah basically like even
He's
even
only like 18 years older than me or something.
Yeah.
Not even like 15 years older than me or something. But I'm still like, hey, what's up, Dad? Like
Yeah.
he gets mad about it. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, but like even like my own father, like having experience, knows Adam. He's like, I want you, like, I like this guy. He like, I like the way he maneuvers. Like,
Yeah.
I want you to sit around and like learn from this dude. Like,
Yeah.
and even he like
Very
he was just
stoic.
like, trust this guy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no, I definitely like.
He's
Like-
he's very transparent. So it's like you could almost see right away. You're like, oh, this is somebody that's like
Yeah,
trustworthy.
and he doesn't like try to like. He keeps that same military mentality. Like even if you see them in like training, I guess of like, we're all like equals. Like at the end of the day, you may reach a certain like rank, but you started as like a soldier. You know, like never
Yeah.
forget that. Always like work hard. And speaking of the ghost, he's
See,
just like
I told you,
messing
dude.
around.
The ghost is in there moving weights around. You guys don't
He
believe
might
me.
have. He might. We legitimately just heard something move out of nowhere, and I was talking all this shit on the ghost.
I
So
love
are
you,
there?
John.
John, you there? There's literally something moving over there. We can hear someone move.
It's probably the Pumpkin City.
It's probably Pumpkin City.
I'm probably like, he's
Oh, now
probably
you're gonna run
come
away.
out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Shout out to my friend who's behind the camera right now. He's running away from the ghost because
I'll
he
run
still
too.
believes.
I'll run too.
I'll stay on camera and bring you guys here with me. I'll spar him too. We'll have a fun day.
You'll interview him.
I'll interview him.
I'll run.
I'll switch your interview out with the ghost.
Fine.
How would you feel, if I just
I would be honored,
gave the
actually.
ghost of Subfighter an interview over you?
I would understand.
He's
more interesting than me.
He's seen everything that's gone down here.
He's got a lot of miles.
Yeah. There's a lot of history to this gym. I'd say at least a decent amount. Like, because you can come in here and like you talk to anybody who's trained here for a while, and they'll tell you some kind of crazy story. Like,
Yeah, either here or there was I think they moved a couple years ago. They used to be somewhere else.
oh really?
Yeah, they used to be. Apparently, they used to be over by the boot barn, across the
Oh, I
street.
did not know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's what I heard, at least. I never went there, but
That's definitely cool. Yeah, no, that's definitely like crazy, and like that's kind of cool though. Like that in a way through the loss, like the most like bonding moment was like, you know, you going to the hospital, a coach showing up, but then also like I said, it goes back to like, so I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, did you kind of realize that, and you know, obviously you started off with a loss, but like, what is that moment where like you're kind of looking around and you're like, where did everybody who was here to support me go? You know, like what is that kind of dealing with? Like, what's it like to deal with that? Where everybody was all hyped up and maybe they come out to see you and then they're all like, oh, that's what happened?
to be honest, though, I have a pretty decent like support system that's there no matter what. Like even after my last loss, like we all still went out and like hung out and did whatever. Like we couldn't really do much because it was a Thursday night. But me and Free Love still. Did we go to? Yeah, I think we still went to a strip club that night. Maybe not. I don't remember.
You guys definitely went out.
We did, actually.
Because
I
like
think
I
we did
went
go.
there with Mark and then like.
No, we definitely did go. That
I
was
went there
funny.
with somebody and then I ended up leaving with them because.
Yeah, no, we definitely did go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did go still. So I still have a good support system that's like they don't bail, everyone's there. But of course, you get more. Was that not accolade, but you get more good jobs on a win than you do on a loss.
Yeah.
Like
More congratulations.
yeah, you get
more,
more,
like,
a lot of people just kind of
attention.
I get it though, because a lot of people are like, I don't want to bug him. Maybe he needs space. Blah blah blah.
Well,
Like, that makes sense.
what is the right action? Because I still like struggle with that. Because I remember like
Yeah, it depends, dude.
Yeah.
It's a case by case and person by person and situation by situation basis. Like,
Mhm.
I would argue that like most people would want to be left alone for the first part of it. Like, I wouldn't want everyone running up to me outside.
no,
my
not
coach.
after. Yeah.
But if I get my little depressed cry out in the locker room,
Yeah.
and then I get to come back out, then fuck yeah, come talk to me.
yeah, yeah, it's
hang
like
out.
it's
Let's
like
have a
Dominic
beer.
Cruz says, like, you know,
Give me 20 minutes to go shout, and then I'll be back.
yeah, it's like Dominic Cruz says, is like loss is a part of life. Like
Yeah.
loss is just life. This is
Yeah.
life. You know.
Deal with it.
Like, yeah, there's only way to deal with loss is really just moving forward. You can sit there and let it defeat you, or you can just be like, no, this is the thing that motivates me. Like, so how did like that first loss, I guess, kind of motivate you? You know,
It just left a bad taste.
mm-hmm.
That's definitely the other people.
That's definitely the other
That's
people.
it.
We
There's
thought
still
again.
noises going. There's definitely people across over there. Yeah, no, it was just left a bad taste in my mouth and just made me want to like, all right, let's do this again.
Mhm.
That was it. Like, it's the same thing with any loss. It always just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Like, after my first pro loss, I even had like a messed up foot. I want to say it was broken. I never really got it x-rayed soon enough to see a break or anything.
You
But
started
I was
training
still like,
pretty
hey,
quickly on it.
what's
though.
up?
I think you
Oh,
took
yeah,
like
no.
2 weeks off, or like
I didn't
maybe.
Even, I
if
think I
that.
didn't even take that long off.
Yeah, I
just
think you
tied a
took a
wrestling
1
shoe.
week, and then you like somebody like said something. You're like, "Fuck it, I'm Wolverine." Like,
Yeah, you just tie your wrestling shoes super tight and you'll be all right. But yeah, I was doing that, and then I forget what I was saying. But
you were saying,
like
like,
even
you
after
were-
that loss, I was like, I need to get back to training. Like, there was a fight that was offered to one of my teammates, and I was like, fuck it, if he won't do it, I'll do it. And Adam's like, shut up, like you can't even stand. I'm like, all right, you're right. He's like,
Right.
go jump rope for 10 minutes, and then we'll see if you can. And I'm like, well, I did. And he's like, well, actually put your left foot down then. I'm like, okay, you're right, I can't. So every time you lose, you just want to like get back in there. I mean, unless you just completely don't want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get back to like I guess the more personal life stuff. Like, so I guess you started fighting. You had like a girlfriend at the time, and one of the like the things that I've heard and stuff as like a fighter, it's genuinely kind of in a way it's pretty. It's not the easiest thing to like date necessarily or have these things because you're so ambitious within your own goal. Like sometimes the development of that relationship has to take a sideline to the development of your career. And the movement of your career forward. So I guess in terms of like when your career started, what was that like dating versus kind of how it is now?
Well, I lived with someone when I was first starting to fight. I don't know if it was during my first fight, but during my like early in my amateur career, I was living with a girl at the time, and She was supportive, but at the same time, like there were like little things where it's like, hey, like let's go do this. I'm like, hey, well, I have to go train. Like I have a fight in 2 weeks. I should be training twice a day, running, lifting, whatever. Oh, well, I really want to go do this. Every once in a while, you cave and you're like, all right, yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
But that was really the extent of it until it was like, I mean, you could tell people are like, they get to the point where they get sick of it. They're like, you're never fucking home. All you do is train. You work 6, 7, 8 hours. Then you go and work out for 6, 7, 8 hours. And then you come home and you go to sleep right away. And you're like, yeah, I don't know what you want from me. Like you said, I just did 13 hours of work.
Yeah, that's
then,
not that. Like most people look at that schedule and they cringe.
Yeah,
Like they couldn't fathom.
That's
that
what my realistically my schedule right before the lockdown, of course, was 5:30 or 6 a.m. I would show up at my work Storm, train people until about 11:30, go train at 12:30, go back to work again, do like another 2 or 3 clients or 1 or 2 clients, whatever, go teach class, go back to training again, and then at night I would either run or during the middle of the day I would run or something, but like I would always do something else.
What was the night training after you said like after you taught the class? Like what was your night training?
I would go do either I would stay, like it depended. I would do like jiu-jitsu or boxing because I always like to try to do 2 different things. So like in the morning if I do boxing or kickboxing, I want to do jiu-jitsu at night.
Okay.
And if I do jiu-jitsu, I want to do striking. So it's like it's always like I just want to have a good balance.
Yeah, and then how did you, I guess, find your balance? Because, like I said, I struggle with. I all the time will overtrain myself like a dummy, and
trial and error.
Basically,
that's all. Like
it's
realistically,
what works for you.
Yeah,
basically.
Because I got fucking. There's Chase Whitmer. Shouts out.
Shout out to the White Tea Warrior there.
Yeah,
put a dent in both our heads. Like
he fucking spinning back elbowed me the other day.
Oof.
He will train like 3 classes in a day. Like he's in the gym legitimately for 4.5 hours training, and I'm looking at him like you're fucking insane.
Dude,
I got to tell him and be like, dude, you're gonna burn yourself out.
You know how much he runs on Sundays?
Yeah, he runs like 7 miles.
He said one time he's like, yeah, just like a normal 7-8 miles. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm not doing enough. Like,
yeah. And you know what's funny is he probably has like an 8-minute pace on that too.
Probably.
But
I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't. But he trains that much, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna burn yourself out. He kept doing it forever. Like he was able to sustain that for years, and he's finally now like kind of slowing down a little bit, but not really. But then if I were to do that, I would die. Like I would legitimately not be able to wake up the next day and be like, I can't move. Everything hurts.
Because I remember Mark is Zarin. Shout out to Mark Zarin.
Yeah.
And we'll try to recreate that and like.
No, you can't do it. Dude.
Even Mark, I would see like the wear. I would get worried for Mark because he would get wear and tear on his body. Like
you just can't do it. Like you can't train 3 times a day, 7 days a week, have 21 training sessions a week. Like you're just you're not gonna feel good.
And then on top of that, you're probably training. Like I said, most people they train like. None of us really, even when sometimes when we get injured, like you're saying, fucking wrapping up this or
like you don't take the time to properly.
You don't take the time to properly heal. Like for me, I've had messed up wrists for probably months just because I won't actually give the time to heal. Like I'll be like, 2 weeks, let me go do ground and pound drills that day.
Yeah, let me go punch the floor.
Yeah, let me go punch the bag, like, and I'm right back to where I started. Like,
yeah,
but it's definitely like a trial and error thing, but.
For me, it's like you got to train twice a day at least.
Yeah.
And then
I think anybody can average to that.
Yeah.
Like,
do something in between. Run, lift. Don't train again, but run or lift or something.
I mean, how I like to do it is like, I don't know. I know some people like for me it works just because of my body type and trying to gain muscle. Where like, if it's like a strength and conditioning day, I'll like kind of try and stick to that. You know, and then like I'll switch to like a mostly technique day where I'm like. Let me focus on maybe like one movement, and I spend an hour doing that movement. Or whatever. Like,
no, it's not a bad idea.
It's like I said, there's no one answer. It's what works for your body type. Like I said, for me, I'm a skinnier guy.
There is one answer.
What?
The right way.
The right way.
Do it the right way.
Do it the right way. But you know, like I said, we're all different body types, different genetics. You know, for me, I'm a skinnier guy. It takes me forever to put on weight. So obviously, I got to lift more. I got to do more things. Guy like we said, Chase Whitmer, he's in shape all the damn time. Like
never gains a pound.
Never. Like I think that dude like was born with coming out of his mama with lats. Like
maybe he works out a lot.
He
started doing strength and conditioning with us actually.
Really?
Yeah.
No wonder he's gotten bigger. Like,
Yeah.
he's big boy.
He's gonna be a killer.
Oh, dude.
When somebody will actually fight him.
Did people duck him? Like,
it's just things that, like his last fight, he got sick, and then he had an injury, and then
I remember because I kind of felt bad. I was like, oh shit, I hope you didn't, because we got sick at the same time. I was like,
but it was mainly he broke his thumb and just kept training.
Yeah. No, he basically
put him on blast for that.
No, he's the toughest dude. Like, like it's when you watch him and you see the guy, it's like nobody like. I don't think I've heard anybody knock him for anything. You're just like, if the only thing you could say is he works too hard, which is what you want people to say.
Yeah.
If they're gonna knock you for anything,
it's true.
Is you work too hard. It's like, is that really the worst thing in the world? Like,
I got tired watching him.
Dude, I get tired watching him shadow box. Like, you want to learn how to shadow box? Watch that guy.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. That's again going back to the more mental side, and again lessons to learn with fight life. Like, he's my favorite, like, and you can do this at any gym. Go back, go see like people that you're training with and all that. Try and recreate what they do that's successful. The one thing that I think that he does really well is when you watch him shadow boxes, and again going back to a thing that you explained to me and tying everything back in terms of sparring and it being mental, is when he shadow boxes, he's 100% in it.
Yeah.
Like, you watch him, he's shadow boxing as if he's in a damn fight. Like,
he's
moving all around.
He's legitimately fighting the air.
Dude, he's legitimate, and he's throwing full blast. Yeah. It's not just like, and you see this, like, especially with people starting, like, they're figuring out the technique, they're going slow, they're working them, warming themselves up. Meanwhile, a guy like him who's more experienced, who's visualizing, very important thing is to visualize, he's fully in it within that fight. But that, I think
he's fucking you up in his mind too.
Yeah, for real. But I think the important part that we forget about that, it's like, it's easy to look at a guy like that who's like, oh, he's just like that. Like, no, I'm sure it took him time to learn that, Like,
he's always had a piece of that in him, but yeah.
But like, to refine it.
Yeah, he had to learn how to use it.
Yeah. And even like I said, I'll do the same thing when I'm watching you. Like, you don't stick to, when you're shadow boxing, I don't ever see you like just. And like I said, it's easy to fall in the habit where you're throwing the same thing in combos. Like, I'll watch you and you'll be like, and all of a sudden you're over there, you're shooting a double leg, you're doing this, and I'm just like, oh, that's what you want to do. You want to just like...
Well, I try to almost... It's like you're building a game plan.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a 3-minute round, are you going to spend the whole 3 minutes trying to land just a jab? No. Mm-hmm. You're going to spend the first 30 seconds to a minute trying to land a jab. You're going to spend the next minute trying to land your leg kick. You're going to spend the last minute trying to land a double leg.
Yeah.
Like, if you want a full MMA round, at least in my opinion, that would be the best of all worlds. But whatever your game plan is,
just always stick to the game plan. Adapt and
sometimes.
Sometimes
don't. Sometimes you have a bad game plan and you got punched in the face.
Yeah, let's expand on that. Like, has there been a time in a fight or whatever where maybe you won the fight, but you just said, this game plan ain't working.
I've definitely had some boring fights where I just laid on people. And I was like, I'm just going to lay here. I already took you down. I'm done. I'm tired.
What do you think about that, though? Like, because I hear this debate, like, when, in terms of judging and scoring, like, and I'll just ask you, if, a fighter who has a good amount of experience, like, one of the things that I'll hear with, like, criticisms of, like, judging and all that is, like, and takedown specifically, is like, oh, you took the guy down, but you didn't do anything. You weren't progressing the movement. You weren't attacking for anything.
But
like,
with that.
Okay, how would you score that personally? Like, because I think there is an art to taking somebody down. Like, it's not easy. You should get something scored, but how much value how much value would you put on that?
So I'm biased because I come from wrestling. So in my opinion, if you take somebody down, they should be awarded at least half of the amount of points for being able to stand back up. So if I get 2 points, and this is the wrestling scoring system, but if I get 2 points, which is not like the broken boxing system, but at least for MMA it's broken. It's not broken for boxing. But if I get 2 points for the takedown and you stand up, you still get 1 point.
Okay.
So there's still an ability for both people to score. But at the same time, if I take you down, let's take that to MMA. If I take you down and then you do 6 different submission attempts and I don't land anything on you, I think you should still be allowed to get like a certain number of points for a submission attempt. Like a legitimate, like everyone knows the difference between a strike and a significant strike. Like an attempt and a significant attempt that led to him like having to fight out of that position, and then you scramble back up. Like maybe give that guy 1 point so the takedown's 2. Maybe that guy gets 1 point for the attempt and 1 point for the stand up, and that could end up being, hey, he didn't do anything on top, so that was a neutral kind of thing. The guy's better on the ground. Like I agree with it at a certain point, but you still have to award the takedown. And if neither of you do anything, obviously the guy on top is winning.
That makes sense. No, like that makes a lot more sense because like that's the thing is like, do you score it or do you not? But I kind of like that way where it's just like you just score both, but because you're both scoring points, it kind of cancels each other out.
Yeah, like you can score both, but you have to both cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Like, and I would say canceling somebody out is you went for a submission attempt or a sweep attempt, almost got him over, but then you stood back up and you didn't take any damage. Who's to say that the guy that took you down even scored any points? Like, I mean, but if he held you down for 2 minutes and fucking elbowed you out and just kept hitting you and then eventually you stood up, I'm still going to score those elbows. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
like elbows are a serious thing.
Still
like,
going to score them. Still hit you.
Still hit you. No, that definitely makes sense. Like, I like that method better than this whole, should this be scored this way or should this be scored? It's like, no, just score everything, but have it cancel each other out, you know?
Like they can almost just do a tally system of like...
Yeah, that would be a lot better.
Like, oh, that was a good takedown, I'll give you 2 points. Like, you have in your own head as a judge, you have like what you would score, and that's up to you. It's your criteria since you're the judge.
Because there's definitely like when I watch certain fights and I hear people call them close or whatever, like the Jose Aldo, Marlon Moraes fight. That's a perfect example where people were very split down the middle. Yeah,
one judge gives it completely one-sided and then the other's complete opposite.
Well, it's like, what do you score? Because like from a pressure standpoint, I thought Aldo won that fight, you know?
Yeah.
He had more pressure. But from a knockdown standpoint and a visual damage standpoint, you could give that to Marlon because he had the knockdowns.
But you can't score damage, though.
That's true.
You can't score facial damage, lacerations, all that shit.
That's true. You got me there. I might be leaning towards if Aldo have won that fight now, even more. But
yeah, technically you can't score it though. You can't score hurt or damage. You can score knockdowns and shit like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Did they change that rule? Can you score damage now?
I'm not quite sure.
They also have been flip flopping back and forth. They made it to like the whole like 3-hand, 4-hand rule, like of like whether or not you can knee him in the head. It went back to 3 hands. It went back to 3. So it used to be like. So the whole thing was like if I had my 2 feet on the ground, and I had 1 hand on the ground, that was a grounded opponent.
Yes.
So then they changed it to where you had to have 4 points, so 2 feet, 2 hands.
No, I think,
and then they went back. No, they went back again, and they changed it to 3 again.
I think it's 3. Yeah, I think you're right.
It's 3 again.
Like,
it used to be 4.
I remember if you look at like the Greg Hardy, his first loss, which was basically kneeing the guy on the ground. Like the guy was basically doing that, but his knees were still down. You know?
Well, a knee counts as 2 points because look, it's the knee and the foot down. That's 2. This is technically 3 points, so this would be 4 points right here. With that, technically, that's how they score it. It's weird. Weird rules, dude.
I don't know. One championship does it different.
Yeah, they're like fuck. They're like knee him in the face.
Knee him in the face, dog. Like they're on the ground, sprawled up.
Wait, do they allow elbows?
What?
Do they allow elbows on the ground?
Of course.
Do they? Okay. I thought Pride.
How are you going to allow knees on the ground but not allow elbows?
Pride used to not, but they would allow soccer kicks.
They wouldn't allow. You couldn't elbow.
They didn't like seeing blood. It was weird.
That doesn't. What?
At some point.
That's like okay. In my mind, Pride's one of the most violent rule sets of all time. They didn't like blood.
No, they don't like blood, but they like knockouts. Japanese people love knockouts, just like Jesus, just like John.
Just like John, the ghost.
The ghost, yeah.
And no, but that's crazy though. Like, that is different. You know, it is very much.
I'm sure they might have had some. Like, I know some. There were some promotions. I might be wrong on Pride. I know there were some promotions that did not allow elbows, but they did allow soccer kicks.
That's intense, man. That's really intense. Like, I don't know. I feel weird. Like, I'm cool with you soccer kicking me on the ground, but an elbow where at least I have the chance to defend myself, I can't. That's not cool. Like, that's just kind of an interesting thing. But I'm not a commissioner. I don't make rules. You know, I just try my best to learn them, even though they get confusing sometimes because for some reason we're the only sport that doesn't have like a universal rule set that everybody understands. Like when I try to explain to my friend, like my friend over there, who's more of a casual fan, I try to explain to them the rule sets, and they just like stand there, look at me so lost, as if I just explained like rocket science to them. I'm like,
and then don't even get started on weight classes at that point too. Oof. And weight cutting and all this other stuff, and then 1FC, and then
I feel like though, like
all that other shit.
I feel like weight cutting is one of those things that's like as much as it sucks, and I'm not the biggest proponent of weight cutting personally. You know, you should fight with your brain as hydrated as possible. A smart fighter is a dangerous fighter, but I feel like it's almost like, in a way, I guess for daily life, like kind of a good thing, because you're more like hungrier. You know, you appreciate food more. Because I like to fast. I like to intermittent fast sometimes.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I hate cutting weight. Fuck that. I don't know what you're talking about. You're insane. I don't like that shit. It hurts.
I'm not saying it good. Like, I'm not saying anybody likes it.
I don't like getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
They hurt.
I'm not saying anybody likes it, but I'm saying the perspective versus like normal people in the society we live in, where food's a constant. Like,
you need to just view food as like a fuel, not as fucking rewards.
Yeah, not like a reward system. Like, I remember one time in in my in one of my college classes, this girl, she said her whole motivation for working out like 45 minutes a day every day was so she could have like In-N-Out like 2-3 times a week. And I just kind of looked at her. I'm like,
ooh, you know, that sounds good though. I might go to In-N-Out.
Yeah, I like In-N-Out, but like, I'm not willing to work out just for the sake of having In-N-Out.
Oh, you know?
No. Like,
no.
I've never like thought, oh, this food is so, again, you know, I'm very biased speaking as a skinny guy. And, but I've never been like, bam, hey, you were a noodle once too, sir. We can bring up the photo right now, you know, editing skills. And,
dare you.
You'll see it in post. And, but like what you said, just like, don't view food as like necessarily this like pleasure reward system. You got to remember what it is. It's food. It's fuel. It's just, that's all it is. You know, don't make it bigger than what it is.
Well, I mean, there's a couple things that really, like, I did actually take a nutrition class in college. That was I think that was the only class I got an A in, and all of it came from knowledge from wrestling. It was great. I didn't do one bit of studying. But
have you ever studied for a test?
I plead the fifth. And then
we know that answer.
I studied for my drug tests. Bam.
Yeah, no. you need some help, like learning how to aim your dick, or like
tested every drug.
Yeah.
The one thing that helped me the most was, like, I had these little like things that my coaches would say. They're like, hey, if you got a 92 Corolla, you don't give a shit what you put in it, right? And they're like, yeah. All right, if you got a fucking Ferrari, are you going to drop sugar in your gas tank? No. And I'm not going to do that with a 92 Corolla either, but, like, I'm going to be real pissed off if someone does it to the Ferrari. I'm not going to be that mad if someone does it to a Corolla. And so he's like, hey, view yourself as a Ferrari. Food is fuel. It's not meant to be this, like...
End all be all.
Well, it's not meant to be, like, I don't get this whole, like... And this is someone who used to be, like, someone that worked at restaurants. I don't get this whole, like, making your whole night around hanging out inside of a restaurant and, like, eating and drinking and, like, having 4 courses and having a dessert and then, like... I'm so confused by that. I'm like, can we go do something else? Like, yeah. I'm full. Can we go? Like,
yeah, no, I like being, like... You know, I'm not gonna lie. I do like eating out with friends.
Yeah,
but like,
but
it's not about the meal for me. You know, it's about like interacting with that person, and like if you haven't seen the person in a while, or like we're doing right now, just bullshitting, talking.
I get
that's the fun part. But it's like I couldn't understand us needing, like, we need to go to this restaurant because I read the Yelp reviews on it. It's got 5 stars, and we need to try this thing, or like
we should start a foodie review, dude. Let's go.
The Fight review. Life food review.
Food review. What is it? Weight cut. I'm dumb. Weight cut food reviews.
Yeah. Weight cut food
All
reviews.
Things you're going to eat when you're done cutting weight. That's actually something I do to myself.
Comment down below if you guys want to see that.
And does anybody else, when you're cutting weight, watch cooking shows?
Let's comment on that, because I feel like that's a common thing.
I really do.
No, I feel like that's really a common thing amongst fighters and people who have to weight cut, because weight cutting is not just a combat sport.
Torturing yourself. You're like,
where they want to look at it.
I'm gonna make that. You watch like fucking, I don't even know know, Guy Fieri or
Yeah,
something.
like it's like almost like if I can't have it, I want to see it at least.
I want to see it, and I want to watch the grossest. Like, have you ever seen Fuck That's Delicious?
Yes.
Yeah, I love
Action
that show.
Bronson.
He eats like he goes from like really decadent stuff to like really like just like he's eating a burger, and I'm like, I want all of it. I want the shitty like. I want that barbecue sauce, like that.
Well, he's
that
blazed
barbecue.
while during that
Oh,
show.
yeah.
He's so.
That's how you live life.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I liked that. That was like that's my favorite thing. I'm like I'm gonna watch cooking shows. I watch like Chopped and shit like that, and I'm like commenting on their shit like, should have hurried up, Brenda. You only got 30 seconds to make that vinaigrette sauce now.
I want to see you. I want to have a viewing party.
God damn it, Brenda.
I want to have a weight cut viewing party where you just sit there and we watch shows like that and just listen to you guys.
Brenda,
comment on
your
that.
glaze is awful.
Oh my god, Brenda, your pie crust was shit.
Chip, I swear to God,
I swear to God.
you just quit right now.
That's what I like. I was never a big Chop guy, but I always liked the what's it called, the Gordon Ramsay shows.
Oh yeah, you just talk shit to people.
Yeah, or no, not necessarily the shit talking, but like the ones where he goes to their restaurants and tells them how they're doing business wrong.
Yeah, he just shit talks them.
Yeah,
He's like, dude, you suck. Like, you guys don't know what you're doing. I love it.
I guess some funny, like we said, we're going back to life lessons. The whole point of this podcast. We'll finish off on some, if you have some funny stories or funny dating stories or funny personal life stories, then I guess like a life lesson at the end you want to bestow upon me, and we'll wrap it up.
This will not at all be a life lesson, but this is a story I promised
This is a funny story.
This is a story I promised you. So,
You promised me 2 stories, sir. So.
I don't remember the other story I promised you.
Mammoth.
Oh, I do. Fuck.
We'll get into 2 life stories. Okay. And like a little quick life lesson you want to
No, the second one, okay, yeah. All right, fine. I'm just going to get into it. So, very young, or very nice young lady.
Very nice. Very kind
nice,
young lady.
Very kind.
Very
so,
kind.
completely unbeknownst to me, we're like hanging out, whatever. We go back to her place. I don't know if this was in the whole night, but it was definitely in when I was with her. But unbeknownst to me, we're like making out, whatever. Of course, your hands start to move, whatever.
Yeah.
I feel something plastic when I reach down for her ass, and I'm like, in my mind, like, what the fuck is that? And she's like, oh yeah, that's my butt plug. Word. All right. I had never mentioned anything about that before at all, and I'm like, word. All right, cool. So,
Had it been a thing you wanted to do for a while? Or?
I'm not gonna say yes or no, but also I had not brought it up to her, and I don't know, whatever. I might be a liar.
You saw
Maybe
an
I did.
opportunity and you decided
Maybe
to
I
strike.
did. Maybe I did bring it up. I'm a liar. Who knows? But
Yeah.
fucking yeah, she's had that in for a while apparently, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's in." Blah blah blah. All right, cool. Yeah, you could just take that out. And so, I wish I could say this stopped me, but
No, it didn't.
it didn't.
I know
But,
you. It
yeah,
would never stop Jeff.
Definitely didn't.
You don't stop
me.
Jeff.
But it, I was like, yeah, you can take that out. Go to pull it out. First off, it doesn't smell great. But second off,
Oh, really?
yeah, no, it doesn't. Second off, there's a full-on like dingleberry hanging off this fucking thing.
And
I'm
that's
like,
the meat and potatoes I want to get into
yeah,
with this
that
podcast.
was that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, so
definitely
we're
some
probably
meat
gonna
and
have
some
to-
potatoes.
You're gonna have to edit this and put that in somewhere else in like the beginning. But yeah, pull it out. There's a
Oh
full
no, this is
on,
the grand finale.
fine,
Yeah.
full on dingleberry. And me being the gentleman I am, made sure she didn't know. And
Shout out to the nickname.
didn't
gentleman.
want to drop it on her carpet and be all mean. So I dropped it on my pair of boxers that were on the ground. Apparently, I fucking leave boxers everywhere. But
Apparently-
I threw them in my boxers, wrapped
This
it
was
up
like
real
one of
quick.
the few times where you leaving your boxers worked out in your favor. Like,
Yeah,
in
no,
a way.
I guess.
I love how you said, "I don't want to be an asshole," throwing your butt plug on your floor. Like,
Yeah, and like smearing shit on your carpet, like literal shit on your carpet. So I wrap it up in my boxers, and then like once everything's done, we don't need to get into specifics. Once everything's done, and no, nothing stopped me. Wipe it off real quick, hand it back to her,
Canoodled
throw
her.
that shit in the trash real quick, the shitty boxers in the trash real quick, and then go about my merry way. And that's the end of that story.
Wait, I thought you saw her one more time after this.
Probably saw her a couple times after that, but she did show up at my house at 2 a.m. knocking on my bedroom window one time, so that was cool.
Oh damn! All right, well
Cool.
let's get into your final story.
All right, so this one is actually
I haven't heard this one. I heard the one before that, but I haven't not heard this one.
This one is an actual life lesson. So
All right.
if you're gonna give somebody really shitty like news or really shitty anything, do it like at the beginning of like anything. So like,
What do you mean by that?
okay, so we'll just get into it. So we're driving. I'm going with a different, very nice young lady. A different,
Many nice young ladies.
very
in
nice.
Jeff
They're
Wells.
all nice young
They're
ladies.
all very nice,
They're all
kind young
nice.
ladies with hearts of gold.
They're nice ladies. I'm the shit. I'm the scumbag. But
Yeah,
they,
they're the gentleman, lady
whatever, sure.
scumbag.
But we're going to Mammoth for like a ski weekend, whatever. The
Yeah.
fuck, I don't know,
As you
whatever.
just go to Mammoth.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
going for, and it's an 8-hour drive.
Yeah.
So it's like I had just been up for like I think 24 hours straight because I was just like at work all day, like didn't sleep well the night before. So I had been like at work. I had just gotten done sparring at Friday, so it's like 9 o'clock when we leave, like 9 p.m.
So your head was definitely rattled.
Oh, I'm rattled. Like I'm exhausted. Haven't slept in forever. And then I go meet up with her. I'm already all packed. Whatever. We go. We start driving. It's all cool. Whatever. Eating snacks on the way. We get like 7 hours into this drive, and she's like, "I have something I need to talk to you about." And I'm like, "Cool. Yeah, we've been talking for like." I'm like, "What? Yeah, we've been talking for like the past 7 hours. What's up?
Yeah.
Like, what do you need?" And she's like, "Yeah, so when we first started, like, or when we were first together, whatever, like getting together, like, I was banging this other guy at the same time." And I'm like, "Cool.
Why
all right."
7 hour?
I don't know. That was my first question.
I'm like so confused to what was going through her mind that like 7 hours.
know.
Like
I don't know.
I know we've been having a good time.
Yeah,
We've been having
so-
great conversation. I fucked other guys.
Yeah, I fucked other guys, and then I was like, "So like in the same day?" And she's like, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, please don't answer it. Actually, don't answer that." And so
she was taking dick like an athlete.
like an athlete,
Like an athlete.
whatever. But
Nice young lady.
yeah, nice, very nice young lady.
Very nice young
But
lady.
she, yeah. So I'm like, why the fuck wouldn't you tell me this 30 minutes into the drive instead of 7 hours? And her response was like something like, "Well, would it made a difference in how you reacted?" I'm like, "Yeah, we wouldn't have had to drive as far back." Like, that's kind of why you should have told me 30 minutes into this drive, not 7 hours. She was just like, "Wait, you're not still gonna go with me?" And I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm not still gonna go with you. Turn this bitch around." And
Wait,
she
you were
tried-
7 hours in.
Yeah,
and
no,
you just
I'm
like
fuck
couldn't
that.
do it. Like,
No, fuck that. I'm not spending a weekend like after finding out that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, can we just go? Like,
I'm
let's just
shocked.
go back.
I don't know. I would have taken you for the guy. I'd just be like, well, let me get like one and done and
No,
leave you. You know,
I was like, honestly,
still a gentleman.
good.
You know,
I'm good. I'm out of here. Turn around. At first, she didn't want to stop the car, and then, or didn't want to turn around. So I convinced her to stop the car, and then I stupidly got out of the car, and she didn't leave, but I thought that she might as soon as I got out. And then I was like, "All right, here, go over." And I was like, "Get out. I'm driving back." And it was her car. And
You're
the
just
best-
in the middle of Mammoth. And
Oh no, we're like at the base of the mountain.
You're at the base of the
And
mountain
then-
alone.
Yeah, it's like 4 in the morning.
Oh wow.
And then, or probably no, it's probably like, yeah, I don't know, something like that, 3 in the morning. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm driving. We get all the way to where like we need gas again, and I'm like falling asleep because I'm driving, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna fall asleep. Like, you need to drive the rest of the way. And I'm such an asshole that we get to the gas station. She's like kind of like looking at me, and I'm like, and she's like, "Oh, I guess I'll go pay for the gas then." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, you probably should. It's your car, so yeah, you probably should." And then the best part about all of this,
I love
is
how she still stood there, just being like waiting for you. She's like, so you're gonna pay for my gas,
no,
babe?
absolutely not.
No.
And then the best part was,
Wait, were you full dating her at this time? Or?
eh,
It was just a
whatever.
talking, like it
yeah,
was
like whatever. Like
casual.
we were going on dates and stuff, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like anything super crazy at that point.
nice young lady. you
Nice young lady. And then I don't know how long her and the other guy were dating though. So, and then
know? They have an 8-year relationship. Like,
fuck, I hope not. That would be funny as fuck though. But she apparently I guess she footed the bill for all of it at first. And so like our whole plan was like, oh, we're gonna get to the top of the mountain, and then like I was like, oh yeah, once you get to the top of the mountain, just like, because she was driving, so like, just tell me what you owe me and I'll Venmo you, or what I owe you and I'll Venmo you it. And she never got to the opportunity to tell me that, so I didn't pay a dime, and that was the best part of that. I was like, you're not getting shit. I'm out. I'll see you later. And the moral of the story is, if you have bad, shitty news to tell to somebody, or just like a shitty thing to tell to somebody, tell them at 30 minutes into the drive, not 7 hours and 30 minutes into the drive.
So
because then the awkward drive back is so much less time.
Yeah. Well, what'd you do on the awkward drive back? Just sit in silence?
Pleaded with her to stop talking.
She kept talking during all this? Yeah. What did she have to fucking say?
I don't know.
Like, what was she trying to talk about?
Who knows? It's fine. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Well,
all good. But it was just a funny story, and then it was funny, even funnier, because I was borrowing my brother's snowboard, so I like returned it, and then the next morning, like I returned it at like 6 a.m. because that was when we got back, or fucking 7 a.m. And then he wakes up to find a snowboard like in their garage, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like, Jeff, you're supposed to take that. Calls me, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, we didn't end up going," and just like explained everything, and he just started laughing his ass off and was like, "That's so shitty, but whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah." Moral of the story, Adam, if you have shitty news to tell somebody, tell them 30 minutes into the drive.
Definitely. And I think the big overall recurring theme of the fight life lesson today is honesty. Honesty and truth. All right, guys. Well, that was a great first episode. I'm Adam.Araby on Instagram, ARABY. Check out the Fight Life Connoisseurs. Jeff,
Gentleman MMA on Instagram. That's it. Follow me.